You know what? See? Thank you, Lon Lars. I appreciate it. See? Still working out the kinks. Um, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and thank you. I'll be checking the chat all time because you guys are gonna be hearing the announcers, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. Um, Again, we'll get this thing kind of situated within the first 5 minutes, but we appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I was saying before, we're going to try to do these for every away game. Oklahoma will be one of those that we do. We've got some cool stuff for the home games as well. So we're pretty excited about what we're doing on Charge On, and we're so appreciative that you guys are coming in and watching the game with me. We'll be having on guests periodically throughout the show. If you go to the chat just a little bit above, we use a thing called Riverside. So I'll be taking your guys' questions through here. We'll be looking at the chat. But if you guys at any point want to come on the show, we will allow you on. I'll look into Riverside. We'll pop you in the YouTube stream and give your thoughts. We'll be doing that periodically. You just have to have a desktop and use Google Chrome. I think the two things you need to kind of have an idea. If you guys are listening to the announcers, let me know. I know, Rodrigo, you said that JRP on what Gus said is about 80-90% wearing the brace and won't be running as much. Yeah, we talked about it this week on Charge On, where we said if JRP is not 100%, he should not be playing this game. But it looks like, again, desperate times call for desperate measures. And Gus Malzahn clearly is desperate for a win after, obviously, OU. Like you said, Lon Lars, it's crazy. Dylan Gabriel gets his first actual decent win in college football. It only took him a couple years, but they're legit. That offense can score. Let's talk about this game right before we're about to kick off. I'm on Spectrum, so if you guys, if it might be a little behind for you guys, a little bit ahead. Hopefully we're right on track here. But again, I appreciate you sticking in. Again, if you have any questions, comments, whatever you want to do, if you want to join, just hit me up, let me know. But we'll be having some special guests on periodically throughout the game. Looks like UCF's getting the ball first, which we're gonna. I said it in a tweet. Follow me on Sean M.R. Green on X or Twitter. But we're gonna find out really early on how much John Rice Plumlee can play. How 100% is he? I know Gus said 80 to 90%. That doesn't give me good confidence. Bula's getting the start at center. So obviously Caden Kittler seems to not be kind of, he got hurt last week. He's banged up. But besides that, kind of the same starters that we've been seeing on the offensive line. But yeah, let's get into it. Obviously, 1st and 10. I'll be semi-commentating just so you guys can have an idea of what we're doing. John Rice gets the ball, hands it off to RJ. Good run for about 7 to 8 there. So yeah, like I was saying, if John Rice is not 100% here, this Kansas defense is a lot better than most people think. I mean, JB Brown is legit. Their corners are legit as well. UCF will be able to move the ball. If they get into the red zone, that is where I think UCF can really make a difference here. If UCF can make it into the red zone, I think they can have a lot of success. But I mean, I'm surprised. Is there an injury right now? UCF is going. They made a sub. Interesting. Going semi-slow to start. Interesting. John Rice hands it off to RJ again. Or is that Johnny? For a first down. Good start. 2 straight runs. I think you're going to see a lot of running the football today. Yep, that was RJ. So let's see. This offensive line, man. I mean, this offensive line is going to have to really step up. They've been kind of struggling. Amari Kite at right tackle has been, a little shaky. But we'll see today how much running the football we're actually going to do. John Rice gets the first throw in. Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice throw by John Rice Plumlee. Wow. To Javon Baker. Not going to lie, guys. He's a little limpy. I'm not going to. He's a little limpy. He didn't even think about running that. He didn't even think. I don't know. Yikes. John Rice, short pass. Good D by Kansas, but even better move by Javon Baker. Shrugs off the defender, and John Rice is out. John Rice is out. Can't do it. Wow. Timmy McClain comes in. This is exactly why you don't rush out your quarterback that is beyond frustrating. That is beyond frustrating that you rushed out your starting quarterback. You rushed him out, and he only plays 4 plays, and he already goes to the sideline because he's hurting. That is what ruins seasons, because you could have just played Timmy, sat John Rice out another week, sat him out, and then he would be almost 100% for Oklahoma. But no, you play him in this game, and he doesn't even get 10 plays in. He doesn't get a drive in. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Comes out limping. Give me a break. That's the stuff that annoys the hell out of me. Is it the brace? No, it's the leg. It's the leg. Swear, that is going, that is just, I feel bad for him. Timmy McClain throws the ball, overthrows it. What do you guys think? That is rough. That is, what a rough take. I mean, again, are you throwing him out there just to so that Kansas sees he's playing because they expect John Rice to play, and then you throw keep him out. Keep him out. I know he's right now he's, trying to get it right on the sideline, but keep him out of the game. He is not 100%. Keep him on the sideline. Keep him on the sideline. Now, one run to the right did not do any good. This is ridiculous. This is pitiful. Keep him on the sideline. Keep him on the damn sideline. Timmy McClain hands it off to, I think, Johnny. Ooh, Xavier Townsend. That's the problem. I'm not going to be able to see with these jerseys right now. Lord have mercy. Yeah. How are they going to say he was cleared last Friday? He goes out in 2. Literally, he played 5 plays, 5 snaps. 3rd and 9. Awful. You literally can't throw, I had people that kind of are knowing better on the situation tell me he's not going to be ready until Kansas or Oklahoma. Probably that's the earliest he can play. False start on the offense. Hopefully they'll show the players then. Oh, was it Johnny Richardson that false start? Wow. Okay. So I guess not on the offensive line. While I'm doing this, I'll probably pull up the stats or the play-by-play, so that I can kind of give you guys good information while you're watching with me. I'm just sick to my stomach. That's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous that you play John Rice when he's not 100%, and now he's could have re-aggravated whatever it is, and you call a run on 3rd and 14. All right. You call a run with Johnny Richardson, and, well, you know what? I'm not going to blame that terrible, terrible blocking on Tylen Grable. That was absolutely awful blocking right there. That was terrible. Kansas stops the Knights. I'm assuming we're going to see Colton Boomer. Oh, no. Okay, so definitely not in field goal range. Mitch McCarthy comes out to punt. Again, this has halted the Knights the last however many weeks. You get good drives going and then you can't finish them. Costly penalty. Now give Kansas the ball. Obviously with a backup quarterback and Jason Bean. But again, you need to go down and score. You're on the road. You need to go down and score. And again, terrible to play a quarterback that clearly is not 100% just to play him. All right, let's see any comments. Appreciate everybody watching. Again, we'll be updating this stuff periodically throughout the show. Hopefully, I'll put the link in. I'll put the link if it's working. If it's not working, just let me know. I'll put the link in the YouTube chat. You can join live. Come on, talk to me. Let me know what you're thinking. And hopefully we have no technical difficulties if that happens. But definitely want to hear your guys' live thoughts, just like, we're experiencing this together. But I think UCF has a really good chance tonight. I mean, listen, even without John Rice, if anything, I think without John Rice here, Timmy, I think, is suited better to play against this Kansas defense. But again, to throw John Rice out for this game when we all knew he wasn't 100%. I was shocked when they said he got cleared. I'm like, there's a difference between cleared and actually ready to go. There's a difference between I'm cleared and I'm ready to go play a football game. And John Rice Plumlee, I don't care what people are saying. John Rice was not ready to go. He is not 100%. And again, if John Rice Plumlee cannot run the football, I get it. He's still your starting quarterback. But if he can't run the football, you're taking 50% of his actual game away. You're taking 50% of what he does out of the equation. So listen, Timmy has played solid. Timmy makes big time mistakes. It's Joe, I'm watching this game with very low juice. Yeah, I will say it has felt a little different. I think the Baylor loss really has affected all of Night Nation. A lot. I mean, it's really kind of affected the way that even the team, like, I hope that the team really took the bull by the horns here and really had a good week of practice. But again, that's a tough loss. Carlos Vega, Timmy has only made one bad decision so far. Can't feel comfortable with him back out there. Has only made bad decisions so far. Sorry, Carlos. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to blame. Timmy makes 4 bad decisions a game, but those 4 bad decisions are costly decisions. Those 4 bad decisions lose you football games. So, yeah, it's rough. I mean, hopefully it looks like he's going to play the rest of the game here. Knights playing on defense, looks like they picked up about 5 right there. That's going to be the thing right now. You have a backup quarterback in Jason Bean, and you've got a running game that can really make a difference here. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But the Knights' run defense is really going to have to come with a vengeance today. Kyle DeWitt, the drive stalled when Timmy came in, even with the knee. JRP was still making throws. Oh, you're 100%. Oh, okay. I think it's going to come back because I think there was offensive holding. I'm pretty sure. You're 100% right, but clearly John Rice, he was limping 5 plays into it. So, like, that's the thing. He doesn't need to run, but if he needs to get out of the pocket. So clearly, if he's not 100%, you just got to keep him out there. D. Trent, Gus gave us some clout, and maybe one of the reasons we got into the Big 12, but I've always thought he isn't the coach that is going to move us forward. D. Trent, I'm going to be honest. I do think so. I think Gus has done an incredible job in the last couple years. I think we are so used to conference championships and 10-plus win seasons. Gus came in his first year, had a really injured team. I mean, basically every starter got injured, and he still won 9 games. Last year, came in, brought us to a conference championship. His problem is he doesn't win the games he is supposed to win. He wins the games that are kind of toss-ups. 2nd and 10, and of course, Kansas just runs for 9. This is going to be a rough one. This is going to be a rough one with running the football. Is John Walker starting? I think they've got John Walker starting for Ricky Barber because Ricky Barber and Ryan Davis starting at linebacker over Walter Yates. That's interesting. I don't know if those guys are hurt or not, but that's a very interesting change to the defense. I know up and Kansas first down on a run. Listen, you're going to have to stop the run game. That's going to be the problem. I mean, you get a first down. They haven't thrown the ball. Devin Neal and, Daniel Hinshaw. Hinshaw looks pretty good. I know Devin Neal's their number 1 guy, but Hinshaw, I mean, is going to step up. Let me see. Yeah, Ricky Barber's still hurt. Lons Addison ain't so hot at the moment. No, it ain't. It ain't. Jason Bean runs for a 5-yard play. That's going to, again, I don't think you're going to be able to throw too much on this Knights defense if it's up front. We've been talking about it on Charge On, guys, how basically every single thing that with this defense wants to do is give up the 5 to 10 yard passes, not get beat deep, which in the Big 12, that's really good. That's what you want in the Big 12 is those, you don't want to get beat on a 70-yard run or a 60-yard pass. But unfortunately, when teams just carve you up and quickly, that's going to be the problem. Jason Bean hands it off and big gut up to about the 47-yard line. Oh, it's going to be a long game. Devin Neal, he's already 3 attempts for 32 yards. Again, that's the big problem right now. That's the big problem is this running defense. I mean, that's a huge problem. First and 10 on Kansas's 46. Daniel Henshaw runs up the gut for about 3. Should be 2nd and 7. Listen, Kansas is going slow. Kansas is going to be methodical, but they know what we are bad at. Has Kansas thrown the ball once? No. Kansas just continues to run the football on UCF. And we said it on the show. I mean, in all likelihood, if Kansas wants to win this game with their backup quarterback, you might as well just run it with your backs, because this defense is not proven to stop the run at all this season. That's kind of what's hurt UCF. Play action. Jason Bean gets a quick first down pass to, I think, tight end, right? Yep, to Fairchild. First down, methodical first drive for Kansas. Yeah, it's rough out here, boys. I mean, no pressure, just doing whatever they want on this first drive. And again, I'm not going to get too high or too low on this first drive, obviously, but this is a rough one. This is a rough start. And this is the difference. We got it down here on our offensive drive, right? And we had to take John Rice out, put Timmy in, and it completely stalled the drive. Good run stop. Oh, if we could tackle. So we can't tackle. Should have been stopped behind the line, but instead he gets a 1-yard gain. Daniel Henshaw gets a 1-yard gain instead of a 3-yard loss. That's been the difference all year, is not being able to stop guys on the run. That's been the main issue. That's been the main problem. And it won't stop unless we kind of showed teams that it can be stopped. But this is a two-headed monster running back today, and it's going to be rough. It's going to be tough sledding for the Knights all day. 2nd and 9 with 5 minutes, 27 seconds left. Bean play action. Looks like the Knights played it well, and he throws it. Wow. Looked like the Knights had him stopped, but Jason Bean makes an excellent throw to Grimm. Let's see if he got his foot in bounds. Yep, he got one in bounds. Who was that on? I can't see. It's a problem with these light mode and dark mode. I think they look clean. You cannot see jersey numbers and all that on television. Oh, they handed off to Devin Neal for about a 3 to 4 yard gain on 2nd down. They are in field goal range here. What a throw by Jason Bean there. I mean, and terrible defense there by us. I mean, I get we were, again, stopping stuff down below, but I think that was on kind of Nakai and Brandon Adams' side. Nakai's got to get there. They were doubling the guy in the end zone. Not ideal here. Again, methodical. Wasting time. This is how you beat UCF, right? Just waste time on the clock and get them down. They hand it off. Oh, nope. Jason Bean keeps it. Picks up about 2. Got a 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 3, it looks like. I mean, I'll take a 3rd and 3. We have notoriously been not good on 3rd down or in the red zone. I mean, we're in the middle of the pack in the red zone this offseason or this season. So, I mean, let's see if we can get this stop. They're 11th in the country in red zone offense. So when they get down here, they usually score. So let's see if Jason Bean can do that for him. Oh, he's got a guy. Oh, and he overthrows him. See, he went for the touchdown there. He had a guy in the flat right there. He had a guy wide open. See, again, when people, I don't wish injuries on anybody, but not playing against Jalen Daniels in this situation is a break, is a huge break, because Jalen Daniels either would have ran that or he would have got the guy right in the crosser. He would have caught that guy coming around the field immediately. But he was looking at the guy in the touchdown. So he wasn't even thinking about the guys 3 yards, 4 yards up. 25-yard attempt. And then we'll take some comments and we can kind of talk through that defensive drive. And it is good. Let me update. Oh, I no problem, Joe. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, like I said, we'll be doing this for every away game. And Nick couldn't do it today, but he'll probably be doing it for Oklahoma. And we've got exciting stuff coming up for the home games. We might potentially be doing a live pod, basically right next to the bounce house. So we'll keep all of you guys updated on that, because again, would love to meet some of you guys in person. Let me update the score here. See, I've got 2 different ones. I made a couple for this thing, but let me see which is which. Put your comments down there below while I do this. That's a good one right there. Just so we keep everything updated. Alrighty. I hope it's a low-scoring game so I don't have to make a million graphics. That would help me big time. 1 second, guys. Open. Okay. All right, there we go. So that should be up. Let me look at the YouTube. Lons Lars, is this an Addison problem with linebackers or Ernie Sims problem? It's a good question. I don't think it's an Ernie Sims problem. At the end of the day, I think it's where you putting them in position. I mean, Jason Johnson, if you've looked at his stats, he didn't look the same the first 3 games. The last 2, he's really come on. I think he had 15 tackles last year. Or not last year, geez. Last game. So, I mean, he's flying everywhere. I think more so, again, it's changing what they're doing defensively. They're just not wanting. I think they're so focused on not getting beat deep that they're not necessarily focusing on the run. And they also commit way too much to one side. If a running back's, that's what we were talking about in the Kansas State game. The running back for Kansas State, DJ Giddens, would go completely left, and our entire defense shifted and played aggressive. And then all he had to do was be patient and just cut it out to the right. So I think we're committing too much, and that's hurting the linebackers because they're getting beat if it gets cut back. They're getting beat. Joe, I'm an O1 alum, and I love that I now have the quality content creators to share the experience with. Listen, that's all we're trying to do, man. We just love covering the team, love bringing Knights fans, content, and there's so many. I mean, there's so many great ones that, have really taken a step up and can bring a lot to the team, or a lot to the table when it comes to content. So we're just happy to be a small part of it. And again, we're so happy that we're growing the channel so much, and hope that you guys will consider subscribing and coming along with us, because we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up. And so all UCF content creators. All right. Kicks off. Soft tissue problem. That can be yeah. Here's the thing, guys. All right, we're back to a commercial. Here's the problem. And we all know this, right? We're all very smart UCF fans in this chat and watching this game. If a guy's like John Rice Plumlee and how he plays is not 100%, a soft tissue problem, just keep him on the sideline. This reminds, tell me, put it in the chat, guys. This reminds me a little too much of Tulane AAC championship game last year. Too much. You're trying to force John Rice to play, even though he's not 100%. You want the win badly, so you throw him in there. He comes out, does some good things, but definitely doesn't look 100%. Then you take him out again, put in the backup, Backup, again, doesn't have time to kind of get into a groove. Like you throw in Timmy in a drive, you're moving the ball because John Rice is hurt. There's no groove in the offense. So you pull him, and now you're putting John Rice out there. So Timmy, if he has to come back in, has to get into the groove of the offense again. That is a big time problem. Like, I get it. I think Gus is just desperate because you look at the schedule coming up and you're like, okay, you don't win this game, you're going in 3-3 into the bye. Then you're going to be 4-3 or 3-4, excuse me, after Oklahoma if we end up losing that game. And then you got West Virginia, who's looking really solid. So that could be potentially 3-5. It's a toss-up game. Oklahoma State just beat Kansas State. That could be 3-6. So it's like there is no surefire win on the schedule. I think the only one that's probably like you could probably assume UCF will win is Houston. Houston is garbage. But besides that, man, I mean, it's rough sledding out here. I mean, rough sledding. Like, I get it. You have your top two right now in Oklahoma and Texas. The Big 12, like everybody's saying, oh, the Big 12 is bad. No, the Big 12 has just got a lot of similar talent right now. The Big 12's got a lot of similar type teams that are all about the same when it comes to, how good they are, which will make it interesting in the years coming up. But there's going to be a lot of competition in the years coming up. All right, guys. Like I said, if you guys want to join in on the live stream, just go up to that link. You have to be on a browser, on a laptop, and using Google Chrome. And I think there's one more, Microsoft Edge. So Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge, if you want to join in live. Let's do this. Lawns Laws. I mean, at this point, we should just play him. We don't seem that good this season. We will get a new quarterback next season, play him more, and just move on, in my opinion. Yeah, but again, I would rather let him rest a week. Gets it. Oh, what the heck? Okay, that was an incomplete pass. They're jumping on it like John Rice threw it out to Xavier Townsend, and he dropped it. Let's see how he's moving. Oh, Jason Benetti's on the call. I like Jason Benetti. Jason Benetti. Okay, if you guys are listening to me and the announcers, credit to you. I would turn on Jason Benetti. He's an outstanding broadcaster because we're actually on Fox this week instead of FS1. All right, John Rice takes the snap, hands it off for about a 5-yard gain. Looks like RJ Harvey. Again, can't really see the numbers till they zoom in. Thank you, RJ Harvey. Lord have mercy. Next season, we need to just get some outline on some of them. Like, put a black outline so I at least know the numbers. John Rice, play action, deep pass. Okay, yeah. Drops the deep pass. What a throw by John Rice. That was nothing else you can do there. Let's see if it was a pass interference. I thought it came out pretty clean. What a play by was that the linebacker? The linebacker playing. They got the matchup they wanted. And JR took a late hit. That's exactly why. If he's not 100%, you don't want him taking. He looked good backing up, though, so that's good. And we're punting again. That was a good deep throw. I mean, again, he's looked a lot more solid. I'm not going to say it was a pass interference, but it could have been called. I don't know if the linebacker turned around. Yeah, rough first quarter for the Knights. 2 drives, two no scores, which is to be expected when you're getting your starter back after being out for a little bit. But that was a rough one. That should have been a catch. Joe. Yeah, he has those vibes. Gus is an enigma with his style. Hard to gauge what our ceiling/floor is with him. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if you look, Gus has never had a losing season. So you know what you're getting there. He's won a national title. And whenever people are talking about, Gus and all that stuff, again, you just go back to recruiting. Okay, say we just got so fed up, which again, I don't understand how people are getting this fed up over a guy. I get it. Last week's loss, one of the worst losses, 100%. I get the Navy loss. I get the ECU loss. Like, there's been enough where you're like, this is a bit of a problem. At the end of the day, he's continuously breaking his own school record for recruiting classes, right? He's going to break that the next 2 years. So it's like, how are you going to fire a guy when he wins you 9 games a year, he's bringing his type of guys in and through transfers and recruiting classes. Next year will be interesting. You're almost getting to the point where it's Gus's team for the most part, and it's still kind of Gus's team now with a lot of transfers and stuff. But I think a big problem this year is a lot of those transfers really haven't done anything for us this year. I mean, you look at, I might have to turn on the light here because I'm getting like red. I'm looking like way too red. Or and that might just be in my one app. But no, you look at, I mean, I think the only ones that really have made an impact are Marcellus Marshall, but that's because he's one of our starting offensive linemen. Most of the transfers have played on the offensive line. Besides that, nobody's really made an impact. All the guys on defense that we brought in, again, they were our backups. And Gus said, or I think it was either Gus or Hinshaw. I think it was Gus where he said, when you bring in that type of competition, it kind of lights a fire under some of those guys that you already have. But you're basically telling me that, Corey Thornton is better than DeCorian Patterson or some of these other guys. I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one. All right, so UCF needs a stop here. If you don't get a stop here, it's going to be probably a pretty rough game because the offense, I think, is going to need a little help today. Just, again, hopefully John Rice can get in the flow of the offense, but him not running is really being a detriment to the team. He's not the same quarterback when he doesn't have that effect. All right, again, using a lot of motion and blockers for Kansas. It's probably going to be a run, and they run it right up the gut and shift and long run by Devin Neal to the 49. That is a perfect example, folks, of exactly what I was talking about. Devin Neal acts like he's going right, then shifts out to the left and just has to beat one guy. And that was Quadric Buller, I think, that he beat. And then he ran down. And then you have to have Josh Selskar come back and tackle him. If not, he's probably pretty much gone. But again, that's going to be the way you lose if you can't stop the run. That's awful. Awful, awful, awful. Another run up the gut to Devin Neal. Gets stopped. I think that was John Walker. Yeah, John Walker with the stop. What a good play by John Walker there to stop Devin Neal. Probably 2nd and 8. Yeah, they're not throwing the ball. They know they can beat us running the ball. Limiting our possessions, running the ball down. They have the backup in, even though the backup is an extremely good backup. Yikes. All right, 2nd and 8. Maybe a play action here? Maybe a play action? I guarantee you it's play action. Play action. Oh, my Lord. Jaire Wilson, bro. Oh, my gosh. You had the ball right there. Completes it to Grimm. Kind of seems like that's Bean's guy. Early is Grimm. He's staring him down. If you watch that play, he just stared him. And, of course, Jaire played a little up on the running back, not wanting to get beat deep, and that kind of forced them to throw it. Yeah, yikes. Not looking good early, folks, on the defense. Again, doesn't matter to back up. Just looks rough. 1st and 10, they play action it, and they overthrow the tight end. Thank God that is what happened because that was a good play design right there. 2nd and 10. Again, you need to get him in these situations, not 2nd and 5, 3rd and 1, which is kind of what UCF has been in all year. But we'll take it. At the end of the day, Kansas knows they can run the ball on us all day. 2nd and 10, 1:13 left in the first quarter. So far, so good, I guess you could say. Jason Bean, I would be shocked if it wasn't a run here. Yep, run. Only got 2 guys there, and he trucks a guy, and Daniel Hinshaw goes out at the 1. Who did he truck there? Yikes. Big yikes. Again, tackling. What's that? I can't see. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to look at these numbers here, but there, zoom in. Quadric Bullard. There we go. Quadric Bullard got hit stick by Daniel Hinshaw. Quadric Bullard got hit stick. All right. 3rd and 1 with 40 seconds left. They are limiting UCF's possessions, and they run it right up the gut, just like they need to do, and they get a first down and more. And they're probably going to let the clock run out and go to the second quarter because why not? Again, this is what Kansas is going to do. They're going to limit UCF's possessions, and that's not good for UCF because, again, they can't get into any rhythm offensively. At this point, you're really going to need to try, like, hold them to a field goal consistently. And I guess that's what you're going to do. Let's shift this quarter to quarter two. Let me know what you guys are. Give me your thoughts, kind of what you're seeing out of this. Again, could be worse if they put up a touchdown here. I don't know how. I mean, UCF obviously has a chance, but I don't know how you can continuously play from behind like UCF has. Granted, not last week, but against the good teams like the Kansas States of the world, you can't play from behind. Let's go to the comments. Joe P, because of our meteoric rise the past 10 to 15 years, it really skews the baseline expectations. Our story is so unique. You're 100% right. But unfortunately, the years that UCF was so good, they were so good. Like 2013, you only lose what? 2 games, 1 game, or however many. 2017, 2018, obviously. But then when you kind of look past that, I mean, it's been some bleak years in terms of accolades and expectations. After a 2017, 2018 year, you have the expectations are at a sky high, right? It's real up there. So when you go into the Big 12, people don't we said it on our show where a lot of fans gave us flack where I was saying, listen, a 6-6 season would be amazing. I guessed 8-4. Don't know if I'm going to hit that at this point, but fans were giving us blowback. And I'm like, listen, again, we're coming from the American. We're not getting a schedule like this every week. And not saying the guys can't do it. Like they proved last week. They should have won, right? And then again, you stay in games like this and you stayed in the game with Kansas State. But again, you're not going to get a Temple on the schedule where you can blow them out 70-13. You're not going to get, I mean, I guess not Tulane anymore, but the Tulanes of the world where they're 2-10. You're not going to get some of those teams. You're not going to get the USFs. So the expectations are, massive just because fans expect so much. Lon Lars, I'm more afraid of losing recruits if you have this terrible season. 100%. But again, you could play that 2 ways because with recruits, you could be like, see, we need you, right? You could play that both ways. But it definitely doesn't help. Again, you are competing against the teams in the state. You're competing against the Florida States. You're competing against the Floridas. You're competing against the Miamis. And yeah, if you go, I mean, again, I don't think 6-6 is necessarily bad for the first year in your Power 5, but listen, there's a chance you lose 1 or 2 recruits depending on some of these games. But then you can again also skew that to say, look at us, look at how we need your help. Commit, like you're going to play early, you're going to play often, and we're going to use you. So I look at it kind of both ways there. I'm going to try to get some. If you guys want to come on during halftime, like I said, I'll put the link in there in a second, but we'll get back to the game now. Second quarter action, they hand it off to Daniel Hinshaw, and good tackle by Nakai Martinez, but still 7 yards up the gut, or to the right, not up the gut, but good blocking by the Kansas offensive line. Again, one of the better offensive lines in the country. I think they've only the 9th fewest sacks allowed in the last 2 years of college football. So good offensive line, and again, terrible run defense, but good tackle by Nakai Martinez. This just has play action run written all over it. Oh, they just run it. Good run defense. Good run defense. Josh Selskar with the stop. 3rd down and 4. I think they would have got us easily if they did a play action run, just run bean out, because I think we were run committing that entire way there. We were run committing that entire way. 3rd and 4, need a stop here. Need a stop. Got the big boys in. They're gonna throw the football. You know that. Unless they catch us off guard here. But this is what you don't give up the short pass. Oh, I see what they're gonna do. Yep. Throw it that side and yep, touchdown. Yikes. And who did they throw it to, guys? Corey Thornton. Threw it right at Corey Thornton. Telling you. This is my problem, guys. This is my problem. Okay? Like, right? You see, and that was a bad throw. Like, oh, that's a gut punch. That is a gut punch. You see 3 wide receivers. You know they're going to throw the football. You know they're throwing the football, right? Am I right or wrong? You know it's a 3rd and 4. You're probably not going to run it. Awful. Awful play there. Like, played him on his back. I don't care what you say. That's awful defense by Corey Thornton right there. Awful defense by Corey Thornton. Let me know your thoughts in the comments while I change this graphic, as we are starting to not be good right now. Thank you. Corey Thornton is overrated. I get so much flack for my Corey Thornton slander every time I slander him. Yet if you just look at the stats and look at where teams throw the football, it's at Corey Thornton every time. Every time. Every time. Hopefully, in the next coming years, we can get some good corners. Hi, buddy. It's going to take some time to get the depth. Well, Eddie Lozano, San Antonio Real Estate, thank you for joining. The problem is UCF has the depth. They went out and they've planned for this for 2 years, where they brought transfers in the last couple of years for depth. They've signed guys in our recruiting classes to really bring in depth that you kind of know weren't going to be starting, but you kind of knew were going to play. UCF has the depth. The problem is they don't use their depth. And I think they think that their depth is better than what it actually is. Corey Thornton, there are good corners behind Corey Thornton. So depth-wise, UCF has the depth. The problem is they're not even using it. They're keeping their starters out, and they're not using the depth. That is the problem. UCF has it, they're just not using it. I just don't understand. Out of all these transfers, we got a DBs and secondaries coach. We still have a lot of people from last year playing. Yeah, no, we have basically, it's the same defense. It's the same defense. Look at the defense this year. It's the same defense. The only difference is Devon Wilson is obviously in the NFL, and you brought Jaire Wilson from ECU, so he's starting. Besides that, it's the same linebackers, Jason Johnson, Walter Yates, same corners. I like Brandon Adams. I think Brandon Adams is a really good corner. He's going to be playing on Sundays. But Corey Thornton is not it. He's proven that time and time again. He's too up and down. But I think they did change here, unless Walter Yates is hurt, which I think Walter Yates is hurt. But Ryan Davis gets the start this game over Walter Yates. Like, how can Patterson and Davis, this I can sometimes never. How can Patterson or and Davis or anyone else not be better than Corey? That's a good question. I don't know. Clearly, the coaching staff sees something in Corey Thornton that makes them want to play him over Patterson. I mean, at the end of the day, Patterson picked the ball off 7 times last year, and we're sitting here allowing 3-yard touchdown passes. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And again, this is what's going to affect this team. Like, this is a game you should win. I mean, I get Kansas is a really good football team, but at the end of the day, it is still a backup quarterback who is a good backup quarterback. But again, you can't allow yourself to early seem like you can't stop them. And this is what they're just going to keep on doing. Kansas knows you got a high-powered offense they're playing against. Clearly not tonight, or not today. Okay, let's get back into it. I'm going to back up a little bit because, or if I can try. I'll just put it on here. John Rice, play action, almost intercepted, thrown behind. I don't know if the ball was tipped. I hope they'll show the replay. I'm pretty sure it was tipped, or he just threw it behind. Yeah, tipped. tipped, would have had Javon Baker, and should have been an interception. Should have been an interception, had it in his hands, just dropped the ball. That's a rough one. Again, now you're in 2nd and long with an offense that really hasn't been out on the field. John Rice, play action to Alec Holler for 5 yards. That was a good play. Again, draw him in, acting like you're going to run the ball, and throw a short, quick out to Alec Holler. Good play design, good play call. But yeah, not doing good on offense when it comes to just, again, we're making a lot of substitutions as well. We are not going fast today at all, and I don't understand that. Like, at this point, it's you just let them sub in, you just let them have their defense set. You got to go tempo when you're struggling like this. Try to catch them off guard. John Rice, they read that thing like a book, and he overthrows them. Oh, this is going to be a long game. 2 3 and outs straight. Again, you send John Rice out and doesn't get his feet set, throws the ball too high, probably would have been stopped anyway. Trying to get Johnny Richardson the ball, and doesn't work out. So now you're kicking back to a Kansas team that has scored on every possession so far. And we are straight up not having a good time here on this Saturday at 4 p.m. Hopefully the defense can kind of create something for us in a turnover or whatever, but it's not looking good today, folks. Why play JRP? Let him sit for the bye week and come back for OU. Michael, you're 100% right. You are 100% right. I do not understand why we are playing John Rice this week. It boggles my mind. Have no idea. At the end of the day, we all knew he was not 100%. We all knew that he could not come out and play 100%. And this is why we have a serious problem. Because desperate times call for desperate measures, like I said, and desperation leads people to make irrational decisions. And we made an irrational decision throwing John Rice Plumlee out there when he could have had an extra week to prepare for OU. And again, I don't know what the coaching staff is thinking. I'm assuming they are thinking we have a chance to win this week. We have a solid chance to win with John Rice as the starter, even not 100%. So we'll throw him out there. And it's not working out so far. Again, I don't think it's on John Rice necessarily. That last play was, but if you know he's not 100% with running, why run a bootleg? Why run a bootleg for him to force himself to run? I don't understand it. Let's fix that headroom a little bit. I don't know if that fixed it, but too much headroom on my end. Joe, we are a neutered puppy right now. That's a good, you know what? I like that, Joe. You're 100% right. Can't do anything on offense so far. Timmy needs to be back in the game. JRP ain't healthy. Yeah, I mean, the only problem right now is you've gone 2 drives with John Rice. So he's going to play the rest of the game unless for some reason he gets more injured, because John Rice, if you throw Timmy in there now, then you're just restarting the offense with, again, a new quarterback trying to get, hot, because right now Timmy's on the sideline, not doing jack. Eric, I'm a Jayhawk stranded in Florida. I am also a fan of UCF, and I've watched them grow as a team over the years. I cheer for UCF as long as they aren't playing my Hawks like today. Eric, you've got a good football team. I don't know. Timmy's on the phone now. Timmy might be going in. So, yeah, it wouldn't shock me. He's probably like, we're going to put you in because John Rice is not 100% healthy. We tried it. Now you got to go in. But you listen, no beef against the Jayhawks. I mean, you got a solid team in that. Not looking good early. John Rice is going to sit. John Rice ain't playing no more. If you didn't get that vibe from that, John Rice is going to the bench. Timmy McClain's playing. And again, there's going to be many, if UCF loses this game, regardless if they win it or lose it, there's going to be many questions of why do you play John Rice if you knew he was not 100%? And if the answer they give is we wanted to go win the game, that's a bad answer. We just need experienced coaching staff and players, in my opinion. We still have these group of 5 players. I don't view it as group of 5, power 5. At the end of the day, we won in 2013 with group of 5 players, we won. In 2017 with group of 5 players, we lost to LSU by 8 with a group of 5 players and a backup quarterback. I don't view it the group of 5 power 5 thing. Oh, they're playing I think Cam Moore. Cam Moore in the game at linebacker. They are. See, now they're trying to use their depth. Oh, see, and that's the problem. What a terrible, 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 terrible defense. What the hell was that? You had 2 trips. Trip by the quarterback, trip by the running back, and you still let him pick up a 6-7 yard gain. Absolutely ridiculous. Eric, it will be different in the bounce house. Yeah, the bounce house is just another beast, but obviously there's a lot of controversy right now with some of our students attending the game. Any team going to the bounce house is going to be tough. Okay, send the 3 corners over because you got 3 wide receivers, but they don't. They only put 2. Get some pressure. Oh, and that could have been the pick right there, but we don't do it. But good play. Damari Henderson. Look at that. Damari Henderson coming up big. Good defensive play there. Could have picked it off. Would have been huge for UCF. They're going to need a turnover. Again, they can't stop the run. Kansas is really kind of just clicking on all cylinders on offense and doing whatever they want. Somebody's hurt. Can somebody in the chat tell me who's hurt if you know? Obviously, Moore's in right now. Or Dave, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's Moore. Another run up the gut. Good tackle by, was that Damari Henderson again? Look at Damari Henderson go. Damari Henderson coming in clutch. Damari Henderson. I want to know if there was an injury. I'm assuming Ryan Davis is injured. 20 rush yards to 117 rush yards with 9 first downs. Again, that's your ball game, folks. We knew Kansas was going to try to run the ball, and they are doing that to perfection. 3rd and 4, got to get off the field here. Send your 3. I would send an extra corner over there, but they decide to go 3 and 3, and they get a first down. Try to get pressure. Bean gets out of the pocket, throws it to Fairchild for a first down. They did bring pressure. They did get pressure. I think Lee Hunter got up the gut, got sent out of the pocket. And again, but that I think was on Cam Moore. He was just not in position. That's on Moore right there. Another run up the gut by Devin Neal for about 5 or 6. So it'll be 2nd and Cam Moore. That's what I thought. I was like, again, it's hard to see sometimes with these. Eric Green, Bean is inconsistent and careless at times. Wish him at quarterback. UCF doesn't have a chance. With him at quarterback, UCF does have a chance. I mean, yeah, we have a chance. The problem is we can't do anything on offense, and they're just carving up the defense right now. Damari is a very good guy too, very kind man. No, both him and his brother, they've been great at UCF so far, and I think they're going to be huge for next year. What a end around play by Kansas to get Arnold free. Another first down for Kansas as Kansas is continuing to move the ball. Max, you think Oklahoma and Dillon going to drop 50 on us or more with this defense? Dylan Gabriel and Jeff Lebby are probably going to drop 70. And I'm not trying, that's no disrespect to our defense. That's just, they have vendetta. They want to kick our teeth in, and yeah, they're going to do everything in their power to kill us. No questions about that. Not a talent issue for most part. Our DNA. Oh, message got retracted. But it's not a talent part. We have the talent on the roster. Like that's the problem. Like the talent is there, but this defense so far this year has looked atrocious when it comes to stopping the run, which we all assumed with this defensive line that would have not been an issue. It would have been the corners, but it's actually the complete opposite. we have let any team run the football on us as much as they want. Zach, this is Zachary Foster. This is easily one of the worst defenses in the country. Commentary this week is noting it. Yeah, it's bad. They can't stop the run at all. And like, look, they're rushing 4. Now they're rushing 5 to stop the run. You get good pressure, but it's and it's going to be a touchdown. No, almost a touchdown. Halfback screen. You play the run because you're scared of them running. It's a pass, halfback screen because they're thinking, let's just send everybody. Just horrible management, horrible coaching. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And guess who went and rushed the quarterback right there? Corey God dang Thornton. Rushed the quarterback, didn't stay back, rushed the quarterback, and leaves a wide open halfback screen right there. All right. And Bean takes it. They've been waiting for that clearly because they played it pretty well, even though he still got 5 yards. But they were waiting for that. Max, I've been watching since this season. You are a great, man. Seems like my attitude now after Baylor. Talent on offense, great. Defense, maybe at the bottom of the country. Congrats on the channel too, though. Max, we appreciate the support. Really do. Again, we've been doing this for a year. It's always great. I wish that this stream could, hopefully we can put up some points so this stream could be a little better. But love bringing you guys content, and we're going to continue doing it. Every week we're going to try to do some form of a live stream, especially during the game, so that you guys can watch the game. We can watch it together and cry or be happy. And another first down for Kansas, running the football. This is getting ugly, folks. This is getting ugly. I'm just going to get the 17-0 banner ready to go because I don't see us stopping the run. This is the big issue. Like, if you want to beat a team like this, you need to go pound for pound. You can't have any lopsided offensive possessions, right? That's one. And then number 2, you can't let a team like this continuously just go down the field and do whatever they want. Yep, see y'all in 2 weeks. Yep, Oklahoma's going to have a lot of fun. Good run defense right there. Again, didn't tackle him where you should have. Had to get 3 to 4 guys to tackle one. You had like Morris Brash on that one. Again, this is the big, like, I can't keep stressing this enough. There's 4 guys having to tackle one because we can't get a guy down. I don't know if that's just, again, coaching. Like, did we work on tackling? Are the guys like, I don't know. It's many questions that need to be answered, especially right now, because you are just getting beat down. This looked like UCF last year against teams running the football. And now we look like the opposite. They run the football up the gut, and Daniel Henshaw gets a touchdown. Wow. This is ugly, folks. This is terrible. I'm going to need some of you guys to join at some point, because if it gets any more uglier, I don't know how much I'm going to have to talk about. It's going to be the same old story time and time again. Open and okay. 17-0. Rough. Terrible. Like, this is just awful. Awful coaching, awful defense. Zachary, do you generally consider firing the DC after this first year? It's honestly something they should consider if there are no noticeable improvements by the end of the year. Zach, I would have usually say no. This is awful, though. And I don't think a lot of the defensive recruits are, I don't know how many Addison Williams is kind of spearheading, if that makes any sense. I don't think a lot of them are, I don't think a lot of these guys are spearheaded, like a lot of the recruits are spearheaded by Addison Williams. So if the run defense does not improve, yeah, no question. Not a talent issue for the most part. Did I read that? Our DNA for many years is flash, not fortitude. If our 100 mile per hour fastball is not on, we usually end up on the wrong side of the ledger. 100% right, Joe. And today is a great example of that. Offense ain't working. Defense can't stop them. You lose the game. It's that simple. Max, they got to fire someone. Can't be Gus because of the recruiting and the buyout, but something has to change next week. Listen, the game's not over by any means. I'm going to be honest, 17-0. I get it. I'm going to be the optimist in the room. I think they have a chance to stay in it, they got to go score here. And I think you have to run out. You can't give them the ball back. Like, I think there's how many minutes? 6 minutes left. You have to take up the 6 minutes, have a good 6-minute drive. Kansas gets the ball at the beginning of the second half. You got to stop them and come back. Eric, I appreciate the subscription, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. If you guys have not subscribed, please do so. It would really help us out a lot. We're trying to get to 500 subs by the end of the year, if that's even possible. But we've slowly but surely going, and we love all the Big 12 members and UCF fans that subscribe to us. So please subscribe, send this out to your friends, and we greatly appreciate it. We need experienced coaches. Yeah, I feel like that's been the problem this year. I mean, Hinshaw is experienced. I don't blame this on him. Again, I think we've got a quarterback situation right now that's up in the air. But yeah, this is Addison Williams. You can tell. I don't know if he doesn't have the answers. I mean, again, I'll give Travis Williams this. The games there's never a time where Travis Williams looked this bad when it came to defense. There were games where, again, just we couldn't stop him. But there were times where defense just made stops in big moments. And I don't know if this defense right now has that kind of it factor when it comes to stopping teams. I think it's almost like they're scared to stop these guys. Bo Stacker, Cincy fans are going to love this. Yep. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They are going to love this. At the end of the day, we're both, I don't know if since he played this week or if they're on bye. You just got to go beat them. I mean, at the end of the day, not a game you can lose. And right now we're getting killed. I don't know if we win. Fred said, I don't know if we win another game this year. Right now we look like an FCS team. I mean, they're beating us like one. I mean, we can't do anything on offense. But again, I don't know if that's a reluctancy on certain play calls because of the John Rice situation. But now it seems like they're bringing Timmy back in. So it's like, again, terrible management by the coaching. If you weren't going to play Timmy, or if you wanted to play John Rice, but he wasn't 100%, you should have just played Timmy. Because now, again, you're down 17-0. You need something right now. You need something to go. And you're just struggling on offense. You can't get anything going. And they're beating you with the backup. Now Timmy McClain's in. And now he hasn't been playing this entire game. He played 4 snaps. It's awful. Timmy McClain, again, hands it up to RJ Harvey. RJ, big run. UCF needed that for about 15 or so, 15 plus. Good run by RJ. Good blocking by the offensive line. I would do a hurry-up offense. But again, doesn't seem like there's much urgency right now. That's my biggest problem right now with the offense. No urgency, slow, methodical, terrible. Absolutely terrible. We need a good quarterback from the transfer portal and need an experienced DC. Fire Addison. I right now agree with you on both points. I'm not yet in the Fire Addison camp just because I need to see more. But yeah, the experienced quarterback, we're going in the transfer portal. Again, you go to a jet sweep and it gets stopped. Who the heck was that? Amari Johnson gets the ball. Wow. Play Amari Johnson. He gets 2. First time I feel like we've seen him all year. Welcome back. He was obviously out. I think he tore his ACL last year. And in his first play, he takes a big hit and gets a couple yards for the Knights. Appreciate all the comments, guys. Going to get to all of them as soon as I can. Please keep sending them in. And again, offensive line. False start. I think it was Tyling, or was RJ Harvey? They keep showing Harvey. I think that was Grable, if I'm not mistaken. Fred, our defense can't stop anyone, and we can't run the ball. The defense can't stop anyone. You are correct about that. Running the ball, I mean, we have been able to run the ball the past 2 weeks. We have been. Maybe not to the effect that we're used to, but again, you're playing different, high-level defenses. But yeah, you're getting in these second and longs, and that's hurting you. You were in a 2nd and 8, now you're in a 2nd and 13. You run it again on 2nd and 13, and Kansas completely stops it. This might be one of I have problems with the play calls right now. I mean, 2nd and 13, throw the damn ball. 2nd and 13, you throw the ball. but you don't. Instead, you run it up the gut. Uh, Awful. And it's not even with Johnny Richardson. It's with RJ Harvey in a 2nd and 13. And you get 3rd and 12. Like, of course, Timmy's throwing it, and you throw yeah. Wow. 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 This is awful. This is awful. What the hell was that god dang playing call? What the hell was that? Are you kidding me? See, this looks like Gus from last year. Like, what the hell was that? What the hell was that? This is awful. And another punt. Absolutely ridiculous. That was basically a 3 and out. You got the one big run from RJ Harvey and then a 3 and out. Again, another penalty. This team is so undisciplined and great. It's probably going for 6 right now. Oh, yeah. Great job. Awful. Wow. I called that one. As soon as he ran for it. Wow. Yeah, this is awful. Awful. Wow. The one time they run, and who is that? Who's 19? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. This is just pitiful. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Awful, man. This is inexcusable. This one is inexcusable. I don't care what you say. This is 2 straight weeks now. This is awful. This team's got no heart right now. No heart at all. Let me read your comments. I definitely am going to need some people to come in and talk. Baylor demoralized this team. Season is done. Max, right now it's looking like that. Throw the damn ball downfield. Clearly they don't want to. Clearly they just want to keep running the ball up the gut on 3rd and 13s and throwing it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, I'm done turning the game off and drinking some bourbon. Max, I don't blame you, guy. I don't blame you. It's funny, though. We're having our most viewers now than ever, which I'm assuming everybody should leave at this point. Not enough players on the UCF sideline. I mean, need somebody to come in and make plays because it ain't happening. Now it's all 3 phases. Special teams, too. I can't watch the game as I'm in Scotland. What the F is going on? Well, Craig, it's 24-0. And offense hasn't been good. And, we just let up a punt return touchdown. So that's kind of what's going on now. I wish I could drink. I might go get a drink for halftime because this is absolutely ridiculous. Don't worry, the new game plan is to not play in the second half and score 40 points in the second. Yeah, that'd be nice. Bo Stacker, the Big 12 is usually a lot better than this year. I mean, clearly they're looking teams we play look good when they play us. Eric, special teams are important. Special teams haven't been bad this year. Right there was, again, the worst special teams play of our year so far, and that's going to do us in. D. Trent, I would also like to see Risk also. He is the quarterback next year. Or do they go for another transfer? 1,000,000% they're bringing in a transfer. 1,000,000%. And I'm telling you, it's got to be a top transfer. It can't be an Xavier Williams just to fill out the quarterback room. You need to literally go get a top tier transfer quarterback. It's going to happen. They're bringing in a quarterback. There's no question. Alec Monahan not playing the first half. Yep, that's what I meant. Not playing the first half, score 40 in the second half. Yep, that would be nice. They know we just played Baylor last week and we're blowing them out. And this was but at the end of the day, we have not done anything on offense. It's 24-0. Haven't even shown that we can move the ball on these guys. So it's not looking good. This just looks like the second half from last week. Literally, yeah, it's a carryover completely. Timothy, this is the part where we become Baylor and have the greatest comeback of all time, right? Yeah, we're not built for that. I don't think we're built for that this year, guys. I wish, Timothy. That'd be great. This stream would be much better next half if that happened. Oh, and of course, the guy that scored the touchdowns from Tallahassee. That's even better. Fred, we're not big enough up front, and we can't recruit linebackers, offensive linemen. Yeah, Herb's got to do a better job. I love Walt Claire Flynn. I think he's supposedly coming next year. I think he's a beast. We're supposed to get Eddie Pierre Lewis, but I think the poor offensive line play has kind of made him now go to Oklahoma. So he should be committing to Oklahoma any day now, which really hurts because he was like a UCF obvious choice, we would assume. This is not coaching. UCF needs to build up. That's it. Don't push the panic button. Front runner, I'm not pushing the panic button. All I'm saying, like, we're making excuses now for things that we were all told early in the year would not be an issue. Size up front, run defense, depth. These were all things the coaching staff told us would not be a problem, and it is showing to be a major problem. So I'm not making excuses for them at this point. It's like, and then of course you get a false start by Kobe Hudson right off the bat. This is awful. This is just, the UCF is just undisciplined. This is an undisciplined football team. I don't care what anybody says. Undisciplined. They're just undisciplined. Awful. Like, you can't start a drive 1st and 15. What is this? The penalties have been better today, but again, you can't get anything on offense. Liam, do you think we should move on from Addison Williams? He's starting to look really bad. I'll tell you that. 3 straight weeks in the Big 12, and they've done whatever they want. They've done whatever they want on offense. You will not see McLean on this roster next year, 100%. Oh, we got a nice run by Johnny. First down by Johnny Richardson. Wow. Again, the only thing that they do is let Johnny, they give it to Johnny. He gets a 15-yard gain. And that's basically our only big plays the last 3 weeks because defenses can't stop him. In the hurry up, finally, because again, you only have 3 minutes left to score. And they fake the handoff, quick slant out to Javon Baker. We're in Kansas territory. Good drive so far. Let's see if we can happen. I'll get to your comments shortly. Let me see if I can get somebody on for halftime while we do this. All right. Timmy fakes the handoff. He's got him. He's got him wide open. He's got him. And he oh my God, did he catch it? He didn't catch it. 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 Didn't catch it. Could have caught it, but he dropped it. Yeah, no. Yeah, not a catch. That's a little hard, though. I mean, definitely not a catch, but credit to Javon Baker. Tried to, good throw by Timmy. Little overthrown, obviously, but yeah, that's the play they needed right there. That was the big play, and that was a little bit of a problem there. Don't think that was supposed to happen. Johnny Richardson up the gut for 5, 3rd down and 5. This is all going according to plan. Coach was on the Baylor game and thought our best chance to win was to get get down by 25. Yeah, clearly. Only way to make up for blowing a 28-point or 25-point lead last game is to now come back from 24. All right, Timmy in 3rd and 4. Need it. And they run the football. Good running play. Actually, that was probably the best run they could have had, and you kept Johnny in. All right. Like I said, so now you're in 1st down. Now you slow it up. You don't want to give Kansas another opportunity in the second. Like, they're going to get the ball. They're going to get the ball at half, so you don't want to give them another opportunity this half to score. So hopefully just play like it is. You're on the 33 with 1:41, 1st down. Timmy pulls it, and he runs backwards and throw it out of bounds. And oh my. Did he score? I didn't even want to see. Okay. Was the arm going forward? Nope. I don't know what to say, guys. This is awful. This is awful. Good stop on the defense. He was wide open. Timmy. I'm just going to read your comments. Hopefully, they don't score while I'm reading them. What an awful play by Timmy McClain to, again, runs in the back. And again, in his head, he's like, oh, crap, I got to throw the ball out of bounds. I got to throw the ball out of bounds. That's what the coach told me. And again, this is a significant problem. At this point, let's just see Dylan. At this point, I just want to see Dylan. It's not on Timmy, but again, like you're down 24-0, you need it, and you have a turnover on offense. Offense has been atrocious today. Jason Bean, he's got a guy, no pressure. Oh, and what a sack. Timeout. Who's that? Malachi, was that Malachi Lawrence? I think that was Malachi Lawrence. He's been incredible this year. One of the bright spots on this defense. And UCF decides not to call a timeout, which, I guess they just want to go into halftime being down 24-0 and hope for the best. We need a top transfer quarterback and let our young quarterbacks grow on the sideline. Yep, Timmy getting shown on the phone call. And now he's complaining with Coach Henshaw, it looks like. Even though, I mean, again, it's not on Coach Henshaw. That's on you for going behind and not going forward and then trying to throw the ball out of bounds. Good stop. I'd call a timeout. You have 30 seconds. But again, I guess UCF is content going or I guess they did call a timeout. That makes no sense since you should have called the timeout prior, but whatever. This is awful. Go get Texas backup. Archie taking that job next year. Max, I'll take any decent quarterback that is going to be atop the transfer portal. And I'm sure UCF will want that too. They're going to go after whoever's top. Maybe Jalen Milroe. I mean, that's the guy that I keep thinking might leave Alabama after 1 year, depending. Lon, yeah, I would love Malik, but I think his NIL is too much, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, JRP is making a lot of money on this roster, so that money's got to go somewhere. Zach, if you get this within 17, you have a slight chance. Yeah, that was, I know, definitely before the Timmy debacle. So, I mean, shoot, maybe we can get Xavier to break one off here. Max, spend all the money to get whatever you can. This is awful. Yeah, I mean, you got to go get a top quarterback here. Front runner, LOL. This is ridiculous. Alec just put JRP in the game in a wheelchair. I mean, I don't even think that would be good at this point. This is awful, man. Like, this is a beatdown on all levels and no bright spot. Offense can't do anything. Defense, it's their first stop of the entire game. And really, it's, a gimme stop because they ran the ball on 3rd and 12 just to get basically the half over. Front runner, pour money into NIL. Kingdom, NIL. Go give some money to Kingdom NIL. That's all I can. Free shout out to Kingdom NIL because that's where it needs to go. This is awful. Awful, awful, awful. Against this defense, I get Kansas improved in the defensive area, but this is just runs for his life. You have a wide receiver, and he's got him. Chauncey Magwood. Good catch by Chauncey. You're going to have to spike the ball. Like now. Let's spike it. Oh, or not. Let's not spike it. Okay, let's throw a deep shot. Let him run out of the pocket. And it's an offensive line penalty, which is going to include a 10-second runoff for holding, probably, which was that Tylen Grable? Because he's had an awful game today. Yeah, Grable. That's great. Alec, we would love to see UCF team with an above-average O-line. I mean, they were good last year. The offensive line was good last year, but yeah, Gus, this is terrible. Yeah, this is awful, man. This is just disappointing on all levels. This can't happen. 13 seconds left, but while we're doing this, I'll put a audience link or an invite link in this chat for you guys so that you can potentially, if you want to, you don't have to. You also don't need to be on video. join and voice your frustrations on the show as Timmy McClain just runs the ball and doesn't go out of bounds. Let's call a timeout, Gus, even though, yeah, let's just go to halftime. Let's just go to halftime. If you guys want to come on, hit that link and talk to me. Voice your frustrations. We have many frustrations at halftime. If we don't have anybody that wants to join, I'll take a little bit of a break, but I'll wait a little bit. Like I said, join on desktop, request access, and let me know if it works, because I tried testing it last night and it worked for me, but it didn't work for somebody else. So let me know. There's also a chat in that. There's a separate chat in Riverside. So come voice your frustrations. If not, you can obviously just type in the YouTube chat. But we would love to hear from you guys. Fred, you have to have good players around. We should have kept Keen because that's the biggest. That was the biggest issue, in my opinion. I think you should have kept Mikey Keen. I get it. John Rice was your guy. You didn't foresee John Rice getting hurt. I get that. And that's kind of why you brought Timmy in. But Mikey Keen, I think I get Gus's offense. I understand Gus's offense is you need a mobile quarterback. I think you just need to go get the best quarterback. It doesn't matter if he can run. I mean, get a quarterback that can throw the football. Carlos, we've been able to get some good runs going. No passing game. And again, flags and mistakes just kill us. That's literally this season. It's literally this season. No question about it. And yeah, I mean, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. No hope right now with just the mistakes. And again, running the football, it hasn't even been that good. You've hit one or two big runs, and that's been it. And then you stall out because you just expect to do the same thing over and over again. That's not going to happen. Fred, I just hope we show up for the second half. Yeah, this will be a rough stream for me if they don't. That'd be a rough stream. Don't even get me started on the defense. Yeah, the defense is awful. Bo, it's your first year in the Power 5. A bowl game would be great for you guys. There's no need to get down on your team. No, Bo, you're 100% right. I am all for a bowl. Like, originally, that's what we said would be a great season. It's just to get bowl eligible. But some of our fans just expect more. In this game specifically, there is disappointment. I don't care. Right now, this is bad. This is where there's a disappointment because, again, last week was rough. You should have beat Baylor by a landslide. They come back and win. So there's disappointment there. And then you follow it up with a performance like this before your bye week and before you go play Oklahoma. So that's where the frustration's lying. It is not anything to do with the team in general. It's just at the end of the day, they can make a bowl game. They've got games on their schedule that they can easily win, or I guess not easily anymore. But this is not a performance you want to have playing a backup quarterback and a defense that gives up a lot of yards. Gus is Akamajo. Gus is a good coach, but he is a square peg in a round hole for UCF. He needs to find a square hole and stop losing good QBs to the transfer portal. You're right. But unfortunately for Gus, he loves John Rice Plumlee. And I love John Rice Plumlee. He's played good this year when he's been healthy. But unfortunately, when you have running quarterbacks in college football now, running quarterbacks get injured more than any other player, it seems like. If you have a running quarterback, look at Jalen Daniels. He has back problems. He's a running quarterback, and he's out today. The problem is this right here. Like, the problem, let me send this guy a link. The problem right now is literally you bring in Timmy McClain just in case John Rice goes down. And this is, you see it. But John Rice hasn't been healthy, and that's kind of screwed the season. But it's also just the defense has not been up to par at all. Someone start a petition to get a transfer quarterback next year right now. It's already signed. UCF has already input their name in the transfer portal for a quarterback. And it just can't be another one of those seasons where, like, even the John Rice here, guys. Like, remember when we got John Rice, there was like, oh, is Gus going to go after Bo Nix? Is Gus going to do X, Y, Z? And literally didn't get that. Got John Rice, and we're like, oh, well, he hasn't played quarterback, and he's a wide receiver. He hasn't played quarterback in X amount of years. So that's kind of the problem right now. Is no hope right now. You got to go get a good transfer quarterback. Bo, what wins do you see on the schedule? What wins do I see? Before Oklahoma State beat Kansas State. I mean, right now, I think Houston is a win. I think, let me see the chat room. Yeah, Max, go ahead and it should be, again, we're trying to get people to potentially join. If you want, join the link. It should ask you if you wanted to be on. You just hit accept and have your mic and camera going. You obviously can disable those, but just allow it permissions and then request a live call in and we'll get you on. Appreciate anybody wanted to join on and voice any frustrations. But yeah, like it's Carlos right now. Yeah, Houston's the only one. I think the other wins that I think we have the better rosters is Oklahoma State. I think UCF should win that game. You have West Virginia is really good. I do think UCF matches well up against West Virginia. Cincinnati, I think UCF should beat Cincinnati. So that's there's a way to get to 6 wins on the schedule. There is a way to get to 6 wins. Unfortunately, you couldn't lose. You can't go down to Baylor, then you can't lose to Kansas and vice versa. That's just not good. But yeah, we're going to try to get some of you guys in. Keep commenting in the chat. But if it doesn't work, then I know for next time that this app needs to kind of get worked on because I see some people in there. Again, guys, it should pop up if you're on the Chrome. It should pop up and ask you if you want to start a live call in. Just hit that, and then it'll ask you for your camera and mic. Click that, and then it should send me a call, and I'll let you come on. So, type in the chat if anything isn't working. And again, this is a good learning experience for next time if it doesn't work. But the whole point is to get you guys to come on, and I'm going to need it for the second half. My voice we're literally recording a pod right after this. So I'm going to need some help talking about this game because this is awful. This is completely awful. Let's see. Oh, let's bring Mesa in. See, there we go. We've got some people. We've got it working.
What's up, Sean?
How you doing, bro?
Doing all right. Working right now, but watching this game. So at least I got something else on my mind watching UCF, but it's tough.
Yeah, this is a tough game to watch. I mean, one of the worst games to live stream, but I'm glad we're doing it. But yeah, this is kind of give your thoughts. I mean, one of the worst first halves we could have had, to be completely honest with you, obviously. But I mean, kind of what do you see out of, Timmy? What did you see out of the team, and what do we need to do in the second half?
I mean, first off, I saw real quick on the TV, it said this is the first time we've gotten shut out in the first half since I think 2015 against Cincy. So that's pretty tough. That's 8 years. That's rough. The whole team they look like they have no heart. I want to say partly because I think if the coaches run out JRP out there on the field, the team's like, all right, he's back. And then after 2 plays, you see him starting to limp, and he hasn't even been hit yet. And then you throw Timmy back in the game. I think then the players say, all right, well, that plan's kind of screwed. Now we already got to go to plan B. So that kind of killed us down. Timmy, I don't know. It looks like he's been coached up so much that he's starting to turn robotic, kind of like any of the NFL fans, but like kind of how like Justin Fields looked like the first couple weeks. How last year he like ran, like he looked like he was playing football, but then the first 3 weeks of this football season, he looked like he was trying to be a quarterback, be in the pocket. It's like that's not really your game. Like you need to make the throws when you can, but if your second option isn't there, start running. But
yeah,
I mean, turnover machine too. Like I think he's thrown a pick in I think every game he's played maybe, and then he fumbled today. It's tough, and it's not fun seeing how we keep on having quarterback issues every year, and then the guys that transfer away are balling out. Like DG looks like a Heisman candidate. Mikey Keene is probably the best Group of 5 team in the country right now with Fresno, so they might make a fucking Power 5 game, or the big bowl game at the year. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, no, it's rough. I like what you said. Like I said, the changing of when a quarterback's injured, like we did this last year in the conference championship game, where it's like, I know you want to play John Rice, I get it, but at the end of the day, he's not 100%, and it's putting your team in danger because you're just throwing a guy out there because you want him so bad. But at the same time, it's like, at this point, you get down early. This is a game that it's going to be a back and forth battle. You need to put up points, and the offense just looks stagnant. This is one of the most undisciplined teams I've watched in UCF in all my years watching this team. They do
Agreed.
not look disciplined at all. The discipline is just not there. I think the problem right now is Gus is so set. This coaching staff and how they go with this offense, they're so set in their ways that, yeah, like you said it, you got Mikey Keene. I get it. Mikey Keene is not your prototypical Gus quarterback.
Yep.
At some point, you need to really understand, like, I get it in college football. It's good to have a quarterback that can do both. I think you see DG. DG is not a run-first quarterback yet. He had 100-plus rushing yards, right?
Yep.
The problem right now is you have a quarterback in John Rice who we all love. He's shown improvements, but he gets injured because, again, like, he runs a little too much, and he has a disappointing injury, and then you throw him out here this week, but then you're going to need backup. Mikey Keene, listen, he's not your prototypical running quarterback, but he throws dots. And when you have skilled players like UCF does, you kind of need to have some of those guys get the ball. And right now, it's too much, nothing down the field. It's everything to the side. It's forcing yourself to run the football, even if you're only picking up 2 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
It's just rough. What would you like to? What do you hope to see in the second half before I let you go? What do you hope to see in the second half to just be serviceable at this point?
At this point, I'd like to see just us making a tackle. I feel every run they've made is we meet them at the line of scrimmage, and then we miss that tackle, then it goes to 5 yards, and miss that tackle becomes a first down. So it's make some tackles. I'm fine to see Timmy for maybe 2 more drives, but if nothing goes, I'm perfectly fine with Dylan Risk going the rest of the way because we need to find out next year who's going to be our guy. At this point, I thought Timmy was going to be it. I really liked him at USF, and I thought he'd be perfect for this offense. But I mean, haven't really seen too much improvement, too many turnovers, not the best decision making at times. So at this point, I'm kind of fine with going with Risk to kind of see what he can do. If not, then because next year we got to figure out, because I highly doubt Gus is going to try the Riley Trujillo kid, that freshman coming out. I doubt he's going to do a true freshman. Xavier Williams, I highly doubt that he'll be ready to start next year.
I'd be shocked if he's on the roster.
Exactly. So, and then we have the Gunnar Smith, I think, from USF, but I don't really know why we brought him in when he's a tall passer. But I mean, so like you said earlier in the stream, it looks like we're just gonna have to go all in on the transfer portal and just kind of hope for the best. But it's getting a little disappointing because this is Gus's third year, and it seems like
third year,
and he hasn't really found his own guy at quarterback. So that's kind of getting a little worrisome when you can't find your guy at quarterback, especially that's the number one position in all of sports. If you don't have a quarterback, you're not going to win games, period.
Yeah, hopefully the second half can be a little bit better. Mesa, I appreciate you coming on, and go Knights, and thank you for tuning in and giving your thoughts. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Sean. Keep up the good work, man. I love the posts. Started watching this year in the off season, man. It's great. It's a fun time. But yeah, best of luck, man.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, he was right on the money. I mean, this has been the problem for UCF fans for a while now. is just not having when Mackenzie was here, right? Mackenzie kind of took over all expectations of UCF, and then you get Dylan Gabriel and started as a true freshman, lit up, everybody. And now you're looking at it and you're like, who's been the next guy? Dylan Gabriel gets hurt. Mikey Keene comes in, has a really good freshman year, had obviously freshman woes. He looks solid. The next year, you bring in John Rice, who hadn't played quarterback in however many years, comes in, plays decent, doesn't really win the big game for you, but plays really good. And you were hoping he'd take that next step this year, but gets, killed with an injury. So it's just not been. I think Gus knows, I know the staff knows that ultimately next year you need to go out and get a top quarterback. And that's rough to say, and it's rough to know that you're basically playing this year with, and hopefully John Rice, if he was almost 100% this week, hopefully in a week or so you can get him to 100%. But being down 24-0 at half is absolutely ridiculous. Let's read some of your comments. O-line and depth at D-line is even more important than a quarterback in the Power 5. Bo, you are 100% right. But again, on the O-line, UCF went out and grabbed a bunch of Power 5 offensive linemen, right, for depth. They actually, Herb Hand, the offensive line coach for UCF, said this is one of the most stacked offensive lines he's ever had, if not the best offensive line he's ever had. That is proven to not be the case. Because clearly they're so, like, Amari Kite's from Alabama, right? That's at your right tackle. Marcellus Marshall, he played at Kent State. So that's not Power 5, but he was all MAC, which I know doesn't mean much to a lot of people. Bula Schmidt. You brought in some transfers here that you thought was going to bulk up your offensive line, and you have decent backups. The problem is it just doesn't seem like your best offensive linemen who you're playing are really doing anything right. They look undersized, even though, again, most of them are Power 5 level offensive linemen. So depth on the D-line, I actually do think we have better depth on the D-line than many think. Like, again, we actually, obviously John Walker's basically your starter now with Ricky Barber out, and he's played really good this year. I just think the problem with the defense is just they're not in the right positions at all. D. Trent, I remember them preaching that JRP was going to be a different quarterback this year. First 3 games still looked like the old JRP. I mean, I don't agree with that. I think the first game against Kent, he had the 2 interceptions, but I think he definitely looked like he improved on some of his passing ability. And the Boise State game, I thought he played an almost perfect game. I mean, it wasn't his fault that we didn't score in the red zone. So I think he looked better. But I think JRP takes the coaching. Timmy, I think he's literally thinking about the coaching too much. I think Coach Hinshaw is literally trying to mold Timmy into the system quarterback that they want him to be. And they keep saying we want him to play in the system. Unfortunately, he's not a system quarterback. He's a quarterback that does freelance. And unfortunately, that hurts teams. Unfortunately, that's hurting UCF today. The only problem is that we're not using our tight ends, and we have huge recruits coming in like Kylan or Kylan Fox or possibly Galloway, but we're not using our tight ends. So why would they want to come? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I don't even think I've seen Randy Pittman today. I hope he's okay. I feel like they've been using Randy Pittman more. Alec Holler, they're basically just using him as a blocker. So hopefully, yeah, I feel like Kylan Fox is pretty much locked in. I think he knows that they're going to basically use him more like a wide receiver. So, and you play Randy Pittman as a blocker too. So I'm not as nervous for that. I don't think we're going to get Galloway at this point. And honestly, I don't really necessarily, I like Kylan Fox a lot. And I think Galloway is probably going to pick someone else, but it'd be great if we got him. But yeah, it doesn't help that we're not using the tight ends as much. Not being 100% is one thing, but he looks 30%. Never should have suited up. I give him props for heart, but dude is still injured, not hurt. Dude is injured, not hurt. Yeah, we knew that. We knew that going in. Where can I see if I am in? Kyle, you have to request to come on. You have to request it. It says live call in. Request if you want to come on, and we'll bring you on to have a talk. But no, I mean, he looked good on that first drive. He just came out limping. And so he is still injured. You are right. He is still injured. I think he got cleared and they're like, it's not going to get any worse. I've never had faith in Plumlee. I don't care what people say. He's injury prone and not a pure quarterback. I mean, he's definitely been injury prone the last 2 years because they run him so much. That's a fact. Dylan Gabriel and Mikey Keene are now 11-0 this season. Is quarterback recruiting a problem, or is it coaching putting undeserving quarterbacks up front? I mean, I think it's on the coaching at some point. It's got to be on coaching at some point, I feel like. But they didn't expect John Rice to get hurt. Kyle DeWitt, how are we doing? I mean, that's a bad question because we're all doing awful. But how was that first half for you mentally?
I don't even want to talk about it half the time, but you can hear me all right, fine.
Yeah,
We're good.
you're loud and clear.
Loud and clear. I have to keep my tone of voice down
Yeah,
because I have
don't be
roommates in the
cursing on here either. Don't be
No,
cursing
no, no,
either.
no, no, none of
Let's
that,
keep
none of
it.
that. It's the matter of fact of the last 3 weeks is just the same old again.
Yeah.
Cannot stop the run. The defensive line is actually doing a pretty good job against a front five for Kansas that is all seniors. They've all played together and they all look very tight knit up front. But the defensive line, John Walker's actually played a pretty good game today. Lee Hunter's eating up double teams. But my biggest problem's been the linebacker play. There hasn't been any linebacker play at all. Jason Johnson's been fine. It's just there's just no flow to the ball, but every single time they do outside zones, it's just an easy cutback for Devin Neal. It's an easy cutback for Henshaw. But and then the safeties have to make every single tackle when that shouldn't be the case at all.
Let's read a couple more comments as we just are getting underway now. Just kicked it off. Oh, I don't even want to know what you just put your head in. I'm probably behind if you just did that.
Oh no, the kickoff just happened on my screen. I
Oh.
think I'm a little bit ahead of you.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll
commentate a little
pause
bit
mine
on this.
for. I would say I'll pause mine for just a little bit so we can be right at the same
Eddie
spot.
says UCF reminds me of TCU in West Virginia when they came into the Big 12. They had great athletes. It took them 3 to 4 years to compete on a consistent basis. I'll be rooting for you. You're 100% right. But like UCF recruiting wise, no, and a huge run, probably going to the house at the start of the third quarter.
Oh no, you're ahead of me.
Touchdown Kansas. Yeah, touchdown
Okay.
Kansas. One play, Devin Neal takes to the house. One Neal all the way. Now it's like this is pitiful. This is like it was already pitiful. This is absolutely ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like one play. Again, watch the play, guys. Perfect blocking up front, and everybody goes to that side, and he just makes one inside cut, more further left, and he's gone. Nobody can catch him. Absolutely ridiculous. This is pitiful by the Knights. This is absolutely pitiful. You can't do anything to stop them, and this makes them look like, I'm sorry, this is on the defense and on the offense. It's a poor all-around game. The fact that in 12 seconds, or I mean, hell, their last 2 touchdowns has been 24 seconds of total game. That's what's going to lose you this game. I mean, that's basically the nail in the coffin.
Well, I was about to say, I think this game's already been out of reach now for a minute, especially after that last play. I mean, like I was saying before the second half started, that was the linebackers right there. I mean, Lee Hunter ate up a double team, and Jason Johnson just couldn't make a play. Like he allowed the left tackle just to get there and shield him off so Devin Neal can run to the house. That is completely on Jason Johnson.
Let's get some of your guys' comments. 54 people watching. We love it. Our downfall is people's crack on here. You are right, Eddie, though. Sorry we didn't talk too much. They broke for a touchdown. Yeah, you are right. It's going to take a couple years, but UCF recruiting-wise has been elite and bringing in certain transfers. It shouldn't be that problem to compete on a consistent basis. Chris, anyone else just feel sad? Yep. Yeah, this is awful.
Yes.
I mean, that one just hurt even more than the punt return touchdown. Hopefully we can get some offense going. At this point, I'm good to see Dylan Risk because Timmy's not your starter next year. So it's like, let's see the young kid. Rodrigo, seeing DG do so well actually bothers me, especially after finding out how much of a diva he was and how he left. I'm happy for Mikey Keene because he left due to Gus choosing JRP and bringing on Timmy. I'm so I get wanting to talk the backup quarterbacks and the guys that left. I get it. This is not just on the quarterbacks. This is just coaching miscues and coaching misfires. There's no reason you should be down 31-0. Offense can't get anything going. Again, it reminds me so much of the championship game last year. You put in John Rice because you're like, oh, we need him. He's not 100%. You put back Timmy, then you put John Rice back in, then you put Timmy back in. Absolutely ridiculous. Malik Murphy, or Lawns, Malik Murphy, everyone remembers the name. We need him from Texas. Go after him. Like, go after anybody for that matter. I don't care. As long as he's a quarterback and he's been highly touted and he's going to be we ultimately need a top 10 transfer quarterback. If he's in the top 10 rankings, go get him. Like, and guess what? Luckily, we're in the Power 5 now. So, like, these quarterbacks are going to want to come. But this is absolutely ridiculous.
It should be a little bit easier in order to get a transfer to come in, for sure.
Oh, because, John Rice won't be here next year. It's an open starter spot, basically, so you might as well come.
Yeah.
Chris, it's been over.
And then we also have to wait for E.J. Colson in 2025. And then he's probably still going to need a year or two to develop before we can throw him on the field. So,
well, you got Dylan Risk right now, which, again, he needs to develop. You got Riley Trujillo coming in next year. And, again, that's a true freshman. If you, again, and all these guys, and they just done an all-out blitz. Timmy McClain, shifty, 2nd and 9, or brings it down to the, 34, so 2nd and 1. Obviously, hurry up offense now, so try and keep it semi-short so that you guys can. But again, we're going to send a run with RJ Harvey up the middle, and RJ's gone. Go. And he's going to be short. Okay, RJ comes up just a little short. What a run by RJ Harvey.
Hey, I love
Good
RJ
way to
Harvey.
answer. Good way to respond. Needed that one. Again, we broke off like 3 big runs. It's about what happens after the big run. That was good. Good read by RJ. Great blocking by the offensive line there. Better offensive line blocking up in the gut this game than the previous couple weeks.
Well, that's what's been going on with this UCF offense. Whenever we run the ball, we've been fine. And then right as soon as we try and get cute and pass the ball with play actions and trying to do reverses, and then false starts happen. It's not been looking good for running the ball in between the tackles. That's where we've been able to find success against this Kansas defense.
Let's see. Timmy McClain play action, sees nobody and just gets obliterated by a 1 yard. Again, at least he didn't fumble. Let's read a couple more comments. It's been over, but it's definitely over. Yeah, Chris, after that long run, at this point, we're playing for scraps here. Rodrigo, if Timmy hasn't overthrown that ball by just 1 foot, could have been a bit of a momentum shift. Would have also led to a score versus a fumble. You're right, but at the same time, you can't go to start the second half with a 80-yard running touchdown in the first play. Like, I get momentum shifting, but halftime kind of changes that a little bit. Timmy drops back, throws great ball. Alec Holler touchdown.
Yes.
Go for 2.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? The only optimism that I have.
That was great. That was a great call, and they're going for 2.
Great call, great throw by Timmy. Way to find the right read. But the only optimism that I see so far now is UCF saw what happens when you're up 35-7. So why can't UCF do it?
Why can't UCF come back from 31?
Exactly.
They scored quick, got the big run. All right, let's see if they can get the 2-point conversion. I have little faith in this. This is not looking good at the start.
Especially with Timmy underneath center.
Okay, and they blew it up. Timmy's going away, throws it. Oh, did they get it?
Broken up.
Nope. So 31-6.
31-6, still a 4-possession game. Better than a 5-possession game than what it was before.
Yeah, let me get this new
It's the first time you get to change the graphic for UCF's favor.
Yeah, I was expecting this was going to happen a lot more, but nope, not for me. I don't get what I want. I don't get what I want. I said, you know what? Let me live stream. Why not? Let me live stream the game, do a live watch along. Should be a good game. No, it's basically me just trashing on this team for going on almost or going to be 3 hours because we can't do anything.
Well, I think people in the comments do have a point. I mean, we basically threw together this whole entire team because the majority of our team did either graduate or leave through the transfer portal. We didn't have that many starters come back, and we threw a lot of pieces together through the transfer portal. We're playing a lot of young guys too, a lot of sophomores. We're starting John Walker as a true freshman. I think it's going to take some time for this team to gel together, especially with how young they are. We do have some veterans like Tremon Morris-Brash and Salasgar, people like that, but we have a lot of young pieces too, and they're just building blocks for what we can be in the Big 12. And I love what I've seen from John Walker this game. Nakai Martinez has had his moments, he's had his shots, but he's going to be better in the next couple of years. And we just need to find a quarterback. I think that's the main thing. We have weapons on the outside. Kobe Hudson and Javon Baker is one of the best dynamic duos in the Big 12 and maybe even the country. But we don't have anyone to throw him the ball. I mean, I don't know what you can do. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta have someone to lead that offense.
Let's read a couple more. Rodrigo, I just saw your comment. If you guys can catch up on the game to be live on Fox, that'd be awesome. Not sure if your feed is just laggy. So YouTube, there's a lag on the live stream. So YouTube airs about maybe
We're
15 to
behind by
20
like
seconds.
15
So
seconds.
while when you're hearing this, technically we're probably watching at the same time, but YouTube lags behind because of the live stream. So you'll be basically seeing the reaction to the plays. There's nothing we can do about that, but I hope it's semi still enjoyable so you can kind of see not much reacting to this crapshoot.
Well, it's been Devin Neal for 10, Devin Neal to the house.
Basically.
Yeah, Henshaw with another 8. Like UCF needs to start safety down to the box or something because we're still playing 2 high safeties against a quarterback that really can't even throw the ball. I don't understand it at all. We need to start having 4 down linemen, having 3 linebackers, and then also creeping us a safety in the box and make Bean throw the ball because he hasn't proven that he can throw the ball that much in this game.
Yeah. Let me read a couple more just while we're waiting. The game's back on now. They're showing Alec Holler. 1 minute, 47 seconds. That's going to have to be what you do basically for the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's what you're going to have to do, and you're going to have to get quick stops. But Kansas has been playing really slow. They're eating up all the play clock, and they're running the ball every single play. They've been having 8-9 minute possessions, it seems like, the whole game.
Yeah. Zach, this team has been giving up on the season full stop. I don't care how much you blow a lead by in one game. You absolutely can salvage for a good season. This team has nothing left in the season at all. We'll see what happens at the back end of the season. They get a bye week next week. We'll see how they do, finish out this game. All I want to see is some fight now at this point. But at the end, they're showing the stats now. 217 rush yards. I mean, 200. I'm surprised we have 208 total yards. I think that was just basically from the last drive.
From the last RJ Harvey run.
Jim P, fire them all. LOL. I get the pain, but we'll see. Zach.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just going to read all these. I want to get to them. Okay. Addison Williams must be demoted or fired at the end of the season. Again, he's not really helping himself here. Addison promotion was to stop the bleeding after T-Will departure. Gus knows a lot of coaches. If it looks this bad at year end, changes will be made. Typing this as we go down 30-0. Damn, man. Okay, so that was 30-0. Yeah, I get it. I completely understand. Jim P, it's concerning how good Mikey is in the correct system. Does show how stubborn Gus is. Mikey was good in this system. So it's not even just he was good in this system. He couldn't run as good as John Rice, and Gus needs a running quarterback. Front runner, you guys need an O-line. Yeah, it doesn't like this. Rodrigo, let's go. Chris, finally something. Yes, you both are right. Yeah, Chris, a stream delay. Thank you for clarifying for them. Carlos, can we get a 3 and out? I always ask for too damn much. And yeah, he got a first down. So, but listen, we're good with no 3 and out. It's now 2nd and 9. So, I mean, let's see something good here. I mean,
they tried a tight end screen and the linebacker was finally able to come up and make a tackle. Yeah, I thought they were trying to throw a screen pass to Henshaw out of the backfield, but it ended up being to the tight end. So,
can we divert TDT funding for assistant coaches in NIL? New tower can wait.
I love that.
That was good, Joe. That was good, Joe. That was the best comment of the day so far.
Snaps.
That was the best comment of the day.
Snaps for him.
Oh, and Max, I appreciate you trying to get on. Yeah, this Riverside can be glitchy sometimes. Hopefully, once we do this again, you can come on or still try. And what a throw by Jason Bean. First down to, I don't even know who that is. 45. Cardell. Yeah, he's not really a known guy on their offense.
One of the 2 tight end fullback hybrids that they have on their offense.
Yeah, that's rough. Texting with Nick Geddes, but he's watching the game on his phone, and he is good thing maybe he doesn't come on because he'll come on the podcast and he'll rip him a new one. All right, 1st and 10 on Kansas's 48. Oh, good. Oh, can we tackle? And we can tackle. Jason Johnson gets the tackle for loss.
I think he heard me.
He might have
finally stepped up and made a play in the hole.
Gets the tackle for loss. 2nd and 12. Again, that's all you need. Get him in the negative, and try to make something happen. You're still down so many scores, and obviously Kansas. Listen, if Kansas can just do what we did last week, I'll be grateful. I mean, just play not to lose, and what do we have to lose? I mean, we're already down 31-6.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst games I can remember for UCF. I think the last game that was like, oh, and then guess,
Never
okay,
mind.
it's about to get worse. Yeah, here we go.
Oh
Daniel
my.
Henshaw, another huge run. Yeah, this is just unacceptable. This is unacceptable. It's like they can just do whatever they want running the football. I want to watch this play again. It's the
Let's see what happened
center,
on this.
a
Why?
toss, and just
Here's
gets
what
bullied.
here's what I don't understand. Both John Selskar and Lee Hunter, they might have called a slant to the inside, but you have two fullbacks and a tight end to that side. Why are you slanting to the weak side when you know that their whole entire game plan's been to run to the strong side all game?
No, they're not just. They don't know what they're doing right now. Like it's undisciplined. They don't know how to play the run.
Henshaw gets another 3-yard run. Trayvon
Yep.
Morris Brash with the stop.
It's about a minute or so delay for anyone wondering. Oh, I didn't know it's that bad.
Oh
It's a
wow, it's
minute.
that bad? Oh.
I'm watching on Spectrum. Maybe if I'm watching on the Spectrum app. I'm sorry it's that bad. Hopefully, in the coming weeks I can get it.
I'm watching off YouTube TV, so I mean, I don't think it's that bad of a delay.
My bad, guys, if it's that bad. Hopefully, I appreciate all of you that have kind of stuck on the stream, though. Even if it's that bad, I appreciate it. Hopefully, if you can maybe pause your stream and kind of let us catch up. Then that might be better. Or you can pause. Or I'm trying to think if they pause us.
We're a minute ahead.
Yeah, we're behind anyway.
I mean, we're a minute behind, so they have to.
Yeah. So if you
They
guys
have
could
to
pause your
pause their
stream,
TVs. Yeah, that's the only way that they could do it.
hell, if you guys want to come on to the live stream, we can just let you you can live talk it to us. I don't want to watch this any more than you guys do. Aaron, this is bad, very bad.
Picture right here though.
3rd down 6. They're 4 and 6 on 3rd down. Bean takes it and runs it and all the way and stops him at the 4-yard line for another big run. Again, they pulled that one out exactly when they needed to. And again, they're just running all over this team. Like UCF cannot stop the run at all. They've been doing that too, where they just leave the middle wide open. And again, that's supposed to be where your linebackers come into play. So a quarterback can't just run up the middle, but not doing much here. 366 yards of total offense.
I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on his name, but number 17, one of our linebackers, he got
Ryan Davis.
Yeah, Ryan Davis. Yeah, he got below the second level. That's why the middle was so wide open.
Wow,
I think
and
we stopped just short of the goal line.
Stopped at the 1. I'm just getting ready to change the score.
Might as well go to get the graphic ready now.
I might as well get the graphic ready. I mean, my gosh, this is just.
All we need right here is just to blow them up in the backfield, force a fumble, we take it all the way back. That's all we need to do. It's not that hard, guys. It's not that hard.
Chris, what is our biggest need? Run defense, quarterback, offensive play calling? Can it be all 3? I mean, I would love if we could do I need all 3 of those. And
an easy
1-yard touchdown. Yeah, I mean, we knew that was going to happen, right? And you got, I think, Josh Selskar banging on the ground because this is a pitiful performance from the defense.
Pity party for the pitiful defense. It's a lot of repetition, a lot of alliteration right there. Well, now I see why he was banging on the ground, because he got blown up. He got owned by that right tackle.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all.
No, this was not great at all. We're already halfway through the 3rd quarter, and yet again, they just wasted another 5 minutes off the clock on a methodical drive. Going back to Chris's comment, I think run defense is actually our biggest need, because teams can literally just control the whole entire tempo of the game, and that changes offensive play calling. That changes what quarterbacks can do. If we can't stop the run, then our pass defense doesn't matter. Shoot is down.
Shoot is down. Yeah, guys, again, I'm going to put the link again if anybody wants to join me. I'll let Kyle stay on for another offensive drive.
Hooray.
I'm going to put this in the chat again.
Guys. I'm so
If
optimistic.
It works, great. If not, no big deal. And again, you don't need to be on camera if you don't want to. All you got to do is come on and you can just chat with your mic. But yeah, this is I can't remember a worse loss. The one I can remember is Cincinnati from
Yeah, in
2019
2021.
or 2021 with
59 to 21 or something like that.
yeah, this is basically that. This is
Yeah.
and this ain't even Oklahoma, folks. This is Kansas with a backup quarterback. It's a good thing we're not playing the Cows this year. Why is it a good thing? I mean, I guess I know Byron Brown's pretty good, but
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I don't. Pain. We don't have many NFL guys on this roster. See, that's the thing, Fred. I disagree. There are NFL guys on this roster.
There is.
There are. Josh Seliskar is an NFL guy. Lee Hunter is an NFL guy. Brandon Adams is an NFL guy. On the offense, Kobe Hudson is an NFL guy. For as much as you want it, John Rice Plumlee, maybe not as a quarterback, but John Rice Plumlee is an NFL guy. Javon Baker is an NFL guy.
I don't think like I think that people whenever they think NFL guys, I think they're thinking like superstars. But a lot of our defensive linemen, they could be big rotational pieces in the NFL. I don't see why not. They could be all mid to late round picks. Like I don't think Javon Baker and Kobe Hudson are like fourth round picks. They're more like third round, but they're not top 10 picks to what everybody wants to be, like everybody wants UCF players to be. But we have a lot of players in the NFL right now, and they were a lot of them third, fourth, fifth round picks.
Yeah.
I mean, look at NFL rosters across the league. We have players in the league, and I think that this is one of our most talented teams that they're just not coached properly. They're not gelling properly. I don't know what it is, but we have a lot of talent on this team, and I wouldn't say to the level of our 2017 team. That's the best UCF team we've ever had. But this is probably underneath the Gus Malzahn era. This is probably the most talented football team we've had. There is some NFL guys on this roster.
Yeah, there is NFL guys. Fire Addison and get a transfer quarterback. I mean,
yes.
This is where you look at like you never want to get rid of a first year DC a year after he starts, but the run defense is looking awful, and this is like a consistent problem. So I don't disagree. What happened to Shoot? Yeah, I think it looked like a lower leg injury. I think hopefully he's okay, but I think he got up and walked off the field, but it looked like a lower leg. Joe P, this is tough if you're a fan for life. Oh, message got retracted. But I see what you said, Joe. I do appreciate it. I don't know why it got retracted. But I appreciate you saying to support us. We need it. The fact that I am on here doing this is I'm not still doing this. I could have logged off way. Whoa.
Oh, they filmed the PAT.
I have to change the graphic. Run!
Let's go!
Run!
Let's go! Go all the way!
Do I get to change the graphic?
Take whatever we can get.
Run! I get to change the graphic, guys. See, that's why I didn't jinx us. I didn't jinx us. Look, I already had it picked, and it's 37-8. Look at that, guys. So our 2-point conversion worked.
Now it's only a 29-point game. That's like a 4-possession game. That's
Look at that.
Swing. Huge swing. That's all the momentum we needed, guys.
Look at that. Oh, my gosh. Look at that. Well, the most excited I've been.
The holder couldn't handle the snap, and then the kicker decided to try to dive on the football and just.
I was about to say that's been the worst Kansas has looked is on the field goal tries. They've looked okay. The rest of it. Let me get this up. Look at that, guys. See, there's life. Hopefully, there's a little life there.
College kickers. As one of my best friends once told me, college kickers, and college special teams play. It's very unpredictable. Very unpredictable.
Let me get this up. 37-8.
I hope you guys like the cup, by the way. Very fire.
I think at this point, Kyle, I'm sure everybody's more so just trying to get through this game in one piece here.
I'm just trying to show some optimism, bro.
I am shocked. Like, I appreciate the support. I can't believe we actually still have 43 people watching this stream. If I was watching a watch along, I probably would have left it at this point. So I appreciate everybody still watching. The rest of the teams on your schedule is licking their chops looking at this run D.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a caller. Look at that. Jim. Jim, we're going to bring you on, Jim. Bask in this pain together. How you doing, Jim?
Hey.
We can hear you.
You guys can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
All right, let me mute the actual stream. Man, I was at the Baylor game last week, so it did feel like a complete continuation. So wait, what just happened? What's the score right now? You said it's 8 to something?
So it is 37-8. We blocked the field goal try, and Damari
Oh.
Henderson, who's having the game of his life, ran it back for the 2-point conversion. So it's 37-8. So we showed a little life there, but obviously still down 29. But
Yeah, just hoping for a miracle. And really, I was kind of let down by that first possession. Of course, like, we moved the ball so well. I was excited. And then once we've had so many issues in the red zone this year. Once we got in the red zone, I started to get nervous. And once I heard that JRP was out, they were switching in McClain. At first, I thought they were doing it on purpose. And I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. Not some type of trickery, No, we haven't seen trickery do too well this season, but if it's injury related, that makes sense. But once that drive stalled, it really kind of left a sour note in my mind. I was like, oh man, we're going to pick up where we left off, because we looked explosive when we first got the ball. That's what the whole UCF fast. And if anyone was watching the Oklahoma Texas game, you kind of saw how Oklahoma ran that hurry up offense when they had like a minute left on the clock. And that reminded me so much of having a good OC and Jeff Levy, regardless of what we think about Dylan Gabriel. But, that whole hurry up, I kind of miss that. And that's what we need right now. I mean, we still have remnants of that on the team. So hopefully I'm not interrupting actual game play, because I'm on like probably super delayed stream. But
oh, you're good.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I'm sure if something big happens, we will let everybody know. At this point, I mean, go through some of the comments before we keep talking. Carlos, that's all we need for excitement right now is 2 laughing emojis. That's great. Yeah, basically. Kevin Suarez, the back end of the schedule is going to be a lot tougher than we thought coming into the season. You're right. I mean, the Big 12 is so up.
Good.
Big 12 is so up in the air. The teams you thought were bad one week are look good. And then again, people thought UCF's good and we're getting blown out 37-8. So it's like question marks all over. This is tough. Better time ahead. Being a fan is a lifelong commitment. Keep supporting dudes like Sean and his channel. You're the future, brother. Thank you. I really do appreciate it, Joe. This is a hard watch and a hard stream, but we appreciate all the support. Chris, misery loves company. Yeah, that's no question about that one. And Rodrigo, all we can hope for is that JRP comes back after the bye healthy and at 100%. Then he can motivate the team and bring back some confidence. Jim, talk about that. I want to ask your question, or I want to ask you about the quarterback situation. I mean, that's kind of the talking point of this UCF roster is, it feels like it's literally been the talking point every single week for the last 2 years is quarterback situation. Do you what is your confidence in Timmy? I think UCF fans they have a consensus on that, but do you think John Rice should have played this week? And what is your viewpoint of the quarterbacks moving forward from here on out?
Thanks for that question. But honestly, after seeing last year, injured John Rice come back where it was just truly nothing. I mean, unfortunately, he's not the best pocket passer. So when you take away the mobility, it becomes like a problem. So yeah, I just remember last year in like the Georgia Tech games, or the Georgia Tech game was one single game, but just the crowd would be chanting, he's open, he's open. Like, John Rice is not the best quarterback in college football. We got a lot of off-season, hype around that. But we do have to be honest with ourselves. I mean, last year he did great in Tulane, but it was not passing the football. So we can't pretend that he was going to come in and be Tom Brady this year. I liked Timmy McClain. It is kind of ironic, him being an ex-USF Bull, being on the roster and then, not necessarily winning under him. It's like he's gone undercover. But yeah, I think he's played his heart out. He's a hometown hero, as we call it. So I like Timmy McClain a lot for those reasons. So honestly, I was willing to switch to Timmy. And I mean, I'm with whoever they want to play. But the only thing that really disappointed me with Timmy McClain was just those interceptions and just few mistakes, because he looks great. When you see him in person, he looks very methodical. Like he's a very technical quarterback when you see him live, and his ball, his deep ball is great. So it's like, that was my first, when I saw him in the bounce house, I was like, wow, Timmy is, I felt like he had spent the past 2 years just studying how to be a great quarterback, which, he is a great quarterback. It's just those small mistakes. And I think we're just learning in the Big 12, these games are like we've been saying, they're much harder. So we really cannot afford to make these mistakes. Last season, let's be honest, we lost to Navy and to ECU. I just hope that we can find some wins on the schedule, like we've been talking, because unfortunately, like we say, Oklahoma State looked good today. Little things like that. Like I really hope that we can find some wins and make it a salvageable season. But I was a fan. I was in the stands in 2015, so I know what's possible.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing can get worse than that. Like it's much better. Like it's okay to suck while we're at least in Power 5. But yeah, I think the consensus right now, I think Timmy is actually decent, like pretty decent. Like if you look at his stats, you like obviously actually watching a quarterback says it all, but if you look at the stats, Timmy is not that bad. All right, Jim, I appreciate you coming on. We're going to get back to kind of letting people know about this game, but thank you so much for tuning in and commenting and just supporting the channel. We really appreciate it.
Sounds good. Charge on. We got this.
Charge on.
Charge on.
All right. So there's 6:32 left in the third quarter. It is third down. That is where we are at right now. Obviously, again, with the stream. Oh, no. Oh, wait. Oh, no.
Wow, is that not a targeting? Is that not targeting?
I think Johnny's hurt.
Well, of course he is. He just got a spear to the helmet.
Oh, maybe he's okay. Well, no, I didn't think the spear. It was more so it looked like he third and 8, 6:07. Timmy drops back, runs to his right. Oh, and he's got him. Oh, and he missed him. And got the first down. That was a great read by Timmy. He was looking straight at the deep man. I think it was Kobe. Hit Xavier Townsend down low. So 1st and 10, UCF is driving. Again, kind of just running pretty slow. You're down 37-8, and you make substitutions, and then it takes a while to get up on the ball. Again, not like we're going to win this game, but you have to execute better. And they run. Okay. Oh, and that actually
you
might
got
work.
blockers in front. Go.
And the blocking is just completely awful and didn't get anything. Good play by Kansas, though, to play a weird trick play. But it looked like it was going to work.
There. It was a jet sweep to a reverse to a flea flicker to Timmy McClain back to a screen to the guy who originally did the jet sweep.
Perfect.
That's a Gus Malzahn trick play if I've ever seen one.
It would have worked if the blockers just ran upfield a little bit, but it's almost like they just stayed, which they might get caught with a legal man downfield. So I get at that. RJ Harvey up the field. That in a 2nd and 5 makes it to about the Kansas 49 with 4:46 left in the game. Again, sorry for the lag. If we're a little behind, it's more that's YouTube. It's not us. So apologies. Timmy McClain hands it off to RJ Harvey. Only gets about 4. So it should be 2nd and 6. And it looks like he's
RJ
coming
off the field. Yeah, it looks like his wrist.
Wrist or he got hit down low. I don't know. It looks like either wrist or got hit in the man parts, but we'll just
Johnny
assume
Richardson's back in the ball game.
Yep, Johnny Richardson in, so that's positive. Not as bad of a hit as we thought because he's back in. Another trick play or misdirection, reverse. I can't even see who that is. I think it's Xavier Townsend. Again, can we get some outlines? Yep, Xavier Townsend. First down, big run. Timmy kind of fakes the run, tosses it back to Xavier Townsend on the jet sweep. He goes down, gets about to the Kansas, 35-yard line. Yeah. So good play by UCF there. Again, just got
great blocking on the perimeter that time. Fantastic blocks on the perimeter.
No, they're doing the blocking is looking decent. Again, just a couple mishaps throughout the game today. Timmy, again, that looks like it's going to be a run. Runs it to Johnny for about 3 or 2 up the gut. And they're finally using tempo. Okay, so they're coming up quick on the ball. Timmy McClain in a 2nd and 8 with 3 minutes left in the third quarter. They hike the ball, and it is a fake QB run to a wide receiver pass.
Throw it away.
What? Kobe Hudson was the quarterback.
Trying to do a double pass right there. Through Kobe Hudson trying to find a streaking Javon Baker since they were running the double stack, and it didn't work out.
Nope, Kansas played it great. Wasn't there. I mean, I'm not hating the trick plays at this point. It's like you got to figure out
No.
something.
I don't hate it either. Just trying something a little bit different.
Yep. Joe, I'm a Jets fan, so I'm used to watching live streams with bad football. Feel right at home. Yeah, I'm a Patriots fan, so I mean, this season I feel that pain. RJ Harvey up the gut. RJ has had some really good runs today. Credit to the offensive line. Obviously, at this point, you're down 37-8. So I mean, running the ball as many times as you do, it just Kansas is going to let you have it. But still, good running.
Looks like his nads feel better.
Yeah, clearly that feels good right now. What would it take for Miles on to get canned, you guys think? Well, he's certainly not going to get canned for at least a couple years because he's got a contract extension. But Tim McLean hands it back off to RJ Harvey for about 4. And 2nd and down and 6 with 2:20 to play. Gus won't get canned for a while because, again, he just signed that contract extension. The buyout's probably pretty decent. Unless for some reason he got a job somewhere else and left us for that, but I don't see that happening. I don't think Gus is a big problem. I mean, this is pitiful, but at the end of the day, I think you got to let him build it. And this is bad, but I blame this more on the defense than the offense.
I think the earliest that he could get canned is at the end of 2024. I think if we have an absolute horrendous season next year, that'd probably be the earliest time that I'd even consider it.
Tim McLean, another handoff, and it gets blown up. Should be 3rd down and 6 or 7. Again, I don't understand. I get you're just trying to get stuff done on offense, but I don't understand why we're running the football as much as we are. I mean, you are down by 29 points or however many points you're down.
All we can do.
I mean, I don't think that's true either.
Haven't shown the ability to be able to throw the ball today.
Oh, no, but I mean, you've got to. I mean, it's like you
at least got to
try,
you know.
I mean, yeah, you're down 37-8. You've wasted 6 minutes of clock or 5 minutes of clock. Timmy, actually good handoff, even though it's going to, gets the first down by Johnny Richardson. Johnny Richardson gets the first down on a 3rd and 7 handoff. Steps out of bounds but the clock still runs. So first down, UCF really is in scoring position. Let's see if they can actually put it in to make this. I mean, it's bad, but make it less bad. Timmy McLean is 7 for 9, 58 yards and a touchdown. Kansas defense has played outstanding today. I mean, I'm not going to just say it's on UCF, but Kansas defense has really done whatever they wanted against UCF today. And Timmy gets up on the ball, not in shotgun anymore, hands it to, I don't know who that is, and he trips. Amari Johnson. Amari Johnson,
yes. That's the second time that they've run. That's the
second time they've run that play, and he tripped. So I don't know why
same exact play design.
And I would get up on the ball and try and get a playoff before the 4th quarter, but no, let's just sub with 7 seconds to go. Yeah, let's do that.
Look like that's what they're going to do.
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, I'm not changing the graphic of the 4th quarter yet until something happens here. All right, Kyle, I'm probably going to keep you on a couple more seconds here. We'll finish this drive out, but I mean,
finish the drive out.
We'll finish this drive out and then I'll let you go, but not the game we all wanted. Not the game we wanted at all. This is absolutely ridiculous. And it's sad, to be completely honest with you. Now, again, if there's any positive things, Baylor put up 26 in the quarter, so who knows? But unfortunately, another season of only 3 to 4 wins, and that might not even be enough. At the end of the day, Rodrigo, if Gus goes in and wins 6 games this year, at the end of the day, I know it's a Debbie Downer for UCF fans that expect more, but at the end of the day, if Gus wins 3 to 4, or if Gus goes 6-6 this year, that's a positive in my book, and I think in many people's books. I don't see a season now. Next season will be interesting because we do play Florida, so you're not gonna get a Villanova, Boise State, and Kent State. I get Florida's not as good, but you're still getting a quality Power 5 opponent to come. You have to go on the road to Gainesville. So, I mean, if you think about it, you have 2 automatic wins. And then everything else from that, everything else is up in the air.
Yeah.
Listen, we're like,
I mean, You don't have to deal with Oklahoma. You don't have to deal with Texas, but Utah's coming to the Big 12. Colorado's coming to the Big 12. Both the Arizona schools are coming to the Big 12 as well. I mean, it's going to be tough sledding from here on out. It's tough sledding for UCF Knights for here on out. So,
And listen,
they
I
got
want to make
they
it.
got to figure out the run defense. They just
I
got
want
to
to make
figure
it.
that
I want
out,
to
and I
make it
think we'll be
very
fine.
clear. I want to make it very clear. UCF is going to be fine. Like, they are in a good
Yes.
position with recruiting. They're going to get transfers when they want. They've got the coaching staff in place that people do respect. Like, at the end of the day, these players respect Gus Malzahn and what he's building here. The problem right now is you can't put up games like this. You can't go in and get blown out when Kansas starting quarterback's not even in. At the end of the day, like, let's call a spade a spade. Kansas beat you just running the football down your throat. That's all they did. They didn't beat you throwing the ball. They just punched you in the mouth by running the football consistently all day long. I mean, let me see how many times they've run the football. I've got the stats right here. I mean, Jason Bean's only thrown it 12 times. They've run it 35 times for 275 yards, 79 yards and 3 touchdowns. 35 times. That's the recipe to beat UCF, folks. I mean, okay, UCF back up on the television screen. Timmy McClain hands it off to RJ Harvey, who again has no hole and just has to shift in and out of offensive linemen because there's nothing there.
It's a gain of 3.
Yep, 37.
Kansas has run a whole lot more plays than we have, but the pass to run ratio is probably almost the same for both teams.
Yeah, we've only thrown
thrown the
17
ball
passes.
9 times.
Yeah, we've only thrown 7 passes. Let me get my graphic ready just in case. Timmy McClain hands off to RJ Harvey again. And RJ Harvey gets the first down just by the hair on his chinny chin. Gets the first down by the hair of his chin. They're going, hurry up. 1st and goal for the Knights. Timmy McClain is still at quarterback, so no Wildcat right now. I'm assuming it's going to be a run to RJ Harvey. And it is. RJ Harvey gets it.
He's in the end zone.
And gets pulled in by Tylen Grable. Touchdown, RJ Harvey.
Yeah.
We'll give a little bit of a clap there. Listen, we'll take the touchdown. Gets willed in by Tylen Grable there. Good blocking up front. I mean, kind of led number 6 right to him, but picks up the defender and just wills RJ Harvey in. 37-14 Knights. Let's see if they go for 2 here. If they kick the field goal at this point,
you got to go for 2, so you can only be down by 21.
Oh, no, they are kicking the field goal, so I can make the graphic.
Colton Boomer.
And boom, boom, boom. All right. 37-15. The game is not over, folks. I mean,
no.
Oh, I got to change it to the 4th quarter.
I mean,
listen,
you gotta
get a stop on defense.
3 and out.
Like, and that's the thing. They just haven't been able to stop them all day. The only time they've stopped them is on the 1 minute left in the second, and they kind of just ran it out.
When they were forcing them to pass the ball because they were behind schedule. They had 3rd down and 8. They had 2nd down and 9. Forcing them to pass the football. That is the recipe for success to beat Kansas. That's what Texas did last week so well. We couldn't do it today because we can't stop the run to save our life. But I'm still a UCF Knight for life.
There you go.
I will love this team until the day I die.
All right, Mr. DeWitt. I appreciate you hopping on. I'll let you go and get out of here. But thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'm always open. You already know that.
I got you. All right. I'll see you later.
I'll still be watching the rest of the stream. Have a fun rest of the stream. Everyone else watching, thanks for listening to my rants. Thanks for listening to me in any way, shape, or form, capacity, and have it all. But have a great day, everyone. Talk to y'all later.
Later. All right, guys. I'm putting in the chat. If you want to come join on me and give your couple thoughts, I encourage you to do that. We've got about 13, 14 minutes left of gameplay, and hopefully UCF can kind of make some form of a serviceable comeback. Obviously, going to be tough to win this game, but we'll take whatever we can get. Rodrigo, question for after we finish this drive. Chances of us keeping our number 29 recruiting class intact, or at least not losing a lot of the 9 stars. This will be the question. It's up in the air. It's really up in the air. I think the real question right now that I'm kind of viewing is, I'm looking more so at position coaches. So like if I'm Walt Claire Flynn, what, do I think Herb Hand is the guy that's going to get me to the league? Do I think Herb Hand is going to be able to develop me into the player I want to be? Listen, if I'm, some of the corners, if I'm some of the DBs that are signed to this class, is Addison Williams and David Gibbs the right guy that's going to get me to where I want to be? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And I don't know if that is right now, if I'm a recruit watching this, I'm like, again, you could take it one of two ways of, I love this team. I want to go help the Knights. I want to be a Knight. Or it could also just be, I don't know if they're developing these guys as much as we think. Eric Green, okay, guys, was probably more fun for me than you all, but has been a closet Knights fan as well. I know this team within 3 years will be a powerhouse in the Big 12. Oh, it was probably more fun for me than you all. Yep, it probably was, Eric. If you head out, we appreciate you, but it's only a matter of time. And that's why I like you can't get too high and you can't get too low when you're doing this type of stuff. I mean, it's UCF is going to be good. Oh my gosh. Kansas kicks it off and UCF gets saved. UCF gets saved from another potential special teams touchdown as number one. Was going to take it to the house if 45 didn't trip him at the 50-yard line. But he was gone. He was gone. All he had to need, or 96. He got tripped up by 96's foot. He was a goner. Special teams has played awful today, just like our run defense. They have been awful. And 96 trips number one to prevent another Kansas touchdown. Wow. Rodrigo, also, we need to not have Boomer kicking kickoffs because he can't kick the ball to the end of the end zone to save his life, and Kansas returns way too well. I agree with you. You know what? I've been saying that since the start of the season. You've got a kicker that can do kickoffs for you. Daniel Hinshaw runs up the gut and gets a first down for Kansas with 13:40 left. Again, no stopping their running game. It's absolutely poor, absolutely atrocious. Kenny Logan, who is the guy that has been doing what he's been doing for the Kansas Jayhawks today, who almost scored another touchdown. Or I don't know if he scored the first touchdown, but he almost scored a touchdown from St. Augustine, Florida. Again, some of these guys we should be looking at, I guess you could say, because they're doing wonders for Kansas right now in the special teams, but in general. All right, 1st and 10 for Kansas with 13:08 left in the fourth quarter. Jason Bean in the shotgun. We have motion from the left. They hand it off to Daniel Hinshaw again, and Daniel Hinshaw basically just absolutely bullies Brandon Adams, but I think it was a face mask on Daniel Hinshaw. It looked like, so this will be coming back. Getting a little too excited there, Mr. Hinshaw. Getting a little too excited there. Oh, what a fun stream, guys. I wish it could be better. Oh, no, and never mind. It was a face mask on Brandon Adams. Never mind. So Brandon Adams got too excited to make the tackle. So we decided we can't stop the run much today. So let's face mask Hinshaw. Now I will say this, Rodrigo, players like John Walker, I don't want to speculate. But some of the players that maybe are on the roster right now might potentially get out of town, if it gets bad. Now, granted, again, we'll be 3-3 after this week. Then you got Oklahoma, a chance to shock the world. But right now, it's not looking good on this defense. First and 10, 12:36 to go. Ball is hiked, and they hand it off to Daniel Hinshaw, who runs, gets a first down, and now is on the 7-yard line. Awful. This is just pitiful performance. Kansas is just running all over this team, and Big 12 teams, you'll be seeing this a lot for the rest of the year. Big 12 teams will run all over the UCF Knights. You'll be able to run all over the UCF Knights when you play them and basically just limit UCF's offensive possessions and run the ball down their throat. Michael Mesa, at least UCF basketball got the best 2025 center in the country. Yeah, if he signs. That was a big get, though. That's the thing. I'd love to talk UCF basketball, but nobody watches. Nobody watches UCF basketball videos. So hopefully we can do some stuff about UCF basketball when the season comes along. Oh, Wildcat. Wow. Using our own play against us. Daniel Hinshaw runs it up, uses our own Wildcat play against us, basically as a big middle finger to all UCF and says, we can do that too, but we can actually be more efficient. This is rough, boys and girls. This is one of the worst games I've watched in a couple years. But hey, here's the positive. And you ready to hear this positive right here? I'd rather have this loss than the Baylor loss. I'd rather get blown our doors off than get beat the way we did last week. And 44-15 as I change I don't even know why I keep changing this graphic. At this point, it's more painful than anything. 44-15 in the Chris. Is there something I'm supposed to click? Yeah, Chris, if you're in here, I'm basically it should be live call in. You should on the when you get into Riverside, it should ask for camera and mic to be active. You hit accept and then you hit live call in. So that should be working. I know it worked for a couple people today. But anybody that wants to join, and if you're having problems, let me know. Because again, we're going to do this again for Oklahoma. We're actually going to probably try and do a live stream next week because it's a bye week. So we're going to try to do this more and get you guys more included to give your thoughts on everything going on. If you can join, great. But I also get it if it's being a little glitchy. We were really lazy and just didn't hire a DC. Jim, yeah, but here's the problem. You hire a DC, you hire it's almost okay. Good analogy. Sean has good analogies right now. It's like almost if you are working at a company and there's a promotion available, but they hire an outsider for a promotion that you could be in line for. Is that going to keep those people that are inside your building that you want to keep happy? Because for you, you'd be like, why are you hiring from outside my company when you could just hire me? I've been here. I know everything. So I get what you're saying, but Gus kind of looked at it as we want to hire from within. There were questions on if Kenny Martin would potentially be, available, or Kenny Martin would get elevated to DC. It wasn't. It was Addison Williams. But there definitely needs to be, if this continues to be a problem all season, Gus really needs to look at himself in the mirror. Jim, I'm going to Oklahoma. I wish you good luck, man. I would not be going. Well, I want to go just because of the atmosphere, but yeah, that's a rough one. Don't Falk Up. I want to apologize for kicking us when we were down, but after OU won today, we aren't getting EPL anymore. He wanted to see the UCF atmosphere, and with us leaving early, plus how hype OU is going to be in 2 weeks after beating Texas, we can cross that one off. Yeah, Eddie Pierre-Louis, we need him, but he's going to Oklahoma. I mean, that's the problem. When you're in recruiting battles with some of these top schools, I mean, the only thing you really have going for you is you're on the up and up. Like, you're in the Power 5 now, and on top of it, you can probably play early. Whereas if you go to Oklahoma, you're probably not going to play for a couple years. Rodrigo, hope we can score another touchdown, get to 22-44 and make it not the triple score. Honestly, I'm going to be honest, Rodrigo. I agree with you. I hope we just need to continue showing that we can score at this point. It doesn't matter how many points we put up. This is a travesty and ridiculous. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Let me see if I can put a light on. 1 second, guys. I'm going to put you on hold for 2 seconds. Or I'm going to not put you on hold. I'm going to put a different graphic up. If I can. 1 sec. It'll literally be 2 seconds. I just want to put a light because it's getting dark outside and I look like crap at this point. All right. Hopefully the light stays. That'd be nice. All right. That's a little better. Where are we going? All right. Somehow, or don't Falk Up. Or no, but you could turn off the light, babe. Don't Falk Up. I'm willing to say if fans didn't leave, he commits to UCF this past week from all I've heard and who I've talked to. I don't know. I don't think it's all on if fans leave or not. That's the only problem. At the end of the day, if you think it's best for you, if you think UCF is best for you, then you're gonna go and commit to a school. That's ultimately what it is. UCF runs the ball up the gut. With RJ Harvey on a 3rd and 1 in the 4th quarter. I got too many confirmations of that being the case. Okay, well, listen, if you got a bunch of confirmations, then I'll take your word on it. All I've known is he's been UCF for months, and if that's literally the case, if fans leaving was the case that he flipped to Oklahoma, then that's gonna hurt. Jim P somehow hurts less than last week. Oh yeah, for sure. Timmy McLean drops back. See, I've got this light in the middle. Deep pass. He's got a man, and it is caught by Javon Baker. Or was he out? I think he was in. They're saying he's out. What a catch. What a catch. What a throw. Underthrew it. Yeah, he was in. Kansas needs to, you're up 44-15. Let UCF have a little bit. Let UCF have a little bit. That's why he didn't come in June. Yep, you're right. Javon is a dog. Is he a senior? Carlos, I think he is, but I think he might have a year of eligibility left. Kansas called a timeout. I'm assuming because they don't think he caught the ball. Everything I see, he caught it. He got the foot in. He's caught it. He's got 2 feet in. Yeah, there's barely any movement on the ball. That's a catch. Give me a break. Give me a break. Let me watch it. He caught, one. The ball is, and he's got the knee drag. Yeah, give me a break. That's a catch. He was a silent in June, but told staff he wanted to wait to see the Big 12 game day experience. Listen, I'll take you on what you're saying. Don't Falk Up. I mean, I think the experience was good in the first quarter. I hope that he can, reconsider. But again, it's hard to compete with an Oklahoma after what they're doing. Good news is we aren't going to lose anybody really after this. Most expected 6 wins max. Exactly. That's the only thing. Timmy McLean throws it to Randy Pittman for the touchdown. There we go. And again, another quick score. Offense is finding a groove. I don't want to say I told you so, but again, if you just start the quarterback that you were going to start from the beginning of the game to the end of the game, maybe you could have kept it close. UCF scores Timmy McLean. Nice RPO. Fakes the handoff to RJ Harvey. Hits Randy Pittman coming up the seam. Great play design. Beautiful. Randy Pittman gets his first touchdown as a UCF Knight, I believe. I think that's his first touchdown to make. So it is 21-44. Let's see if we're going to kick the field goal. And boom. Boom, boom, boom. Colton Boomer puts on the extra point to make it 22-44. Almost a 3-score game at this point. So UCF continues to fight, which I respect, and I'm loving that they're fighting. But if anything, it just shows you this defense is atrocious and terrible. And anything great I said at the beginning is just not accurate. This defense needs a lot of help. And I don't know. We'll see. But Addison Williams, you all are 100% right about Addison Williams and kind of how he's been coaching these guys up so far. Let me get the YouTube chat back up. Rodrigo, let's go Pittman. You were a couple seconds ahead of me, I think. So good. I'm glad you have a couple seconds there. Don't Falk Up. It isn't impossible to get him, but just after that Texas win, OU is going to be bonkers. By the way, expect at least one commit flip to UCF in the next few days to get some heat off the staff. They have 3 guys silent and waiting for the go-ahead. Don't Falk Up. If you follow me on Twitter, go DM me. Go DM me on Twitter some of those guys. I'll keep it between us, but I kind of want to... I have a feeling I know who you're talking about because I have intel about some guys that we're just assuming are coming. But no, UCF, I don't care who you are. I don't care who you have committed. You have to prove yourself right now. And I feel like UCF is kind of... But here's the thing. UCF has to become like a Miami or, some of these schools where you're just going to get commits. And you could be bad one season or average, and you're going to keep those guys that have committed to you. Rodrigo, I think it was okay to give JRP the first drive, but after he felt off awkward, you're right. We should have just stuck with Timmy. Maybe we'd be 1 score closer. That's my thing. you cannot do what UCF just did. That's what hurt. Like, remember last year against Tulane, UCF did the back and forth thing. And once they finally just gave JRP the reins and said, listen, we know what you can't do and can do, UCF came back and almost won that game against Tulane. The defense couldn't stop Tulane by any means, but that's the problem. You started JRP, you played him four snaps, he gets a little banged up, you bring Timmy back in for that drive, finishes out, you punt the ball, then you bring Timmy in for the next drive, I think, goes 3 and out. Then you bring JRP back and play him a drive. Then you bring Timmy, and then you play Timmy the rest of the game. So it's like, you can't do that. If you want a chance to win, you can't continue switching up. I'll follow you, DF Hub. Go ahead and shoot me a DM. Shoot me a DM and let me know. All right. I mean, last 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. That's all you can ask for. I mean, that's literally all you can ask for. I mean, you went down, good answer in the second half offensively. I mean, you went into the half with, they do an onside, but do nothing with it. I mean, credit that, trying to get a score there. I get it. Kansas wins probably went down to 99.8 with the tutty. Let's go. Hey, that's 0.2. Better chance than we had before the touchdown. So anything's possible. Had to shorten my name as UCF staff didn't like my name sounding like it did, as I got a few DMs from people within. I think I've seen you before, DF Up. I think I've seen you before on Twitter. Yeah, hit me up. I want to see, we could chat offline because I want to, see what you're, what you know and stuff like that. All right. Another run up the middle or up the right. I think they brought in a new running back. I have to go look. They're at 415 rushing yards. Wow. Yeah. No, this is ridiculous. 5 for 7 on third downs. That's also the problem. Who'd they bring in? 25. Dylan McDuffie. Oh, he's got 4 carries for 44 yards and a tutty. So never mind. He's been in. Why does it say 450 yards? Oh, that's on offense. The rushing yards are 360. 360 rushing yards, Rodrigo. So not as bad, but still very bad. Still very bad. But 50 yards less. Got motion from the right. They just hand it off, and McDuffie is basically a goner. Brings it to UCF's 3-yard line. Huge run for McDuffie. Maybe I had they already had that stat added. That's probably what it was. I looked at the stats, and because I'm behind. Rodrigo, now you're now it's 450, I bet. Let me see. I think the stats were probably updated before I saw it. Yeah, no, the stats were updated before I saw it, I think. 36-yard gain for McDuffie. So, no, clearly my thing was on a little bit later. That's on me. Spectrum can be on or not on. It always depends. Where is the stream? Oh, here it is. Got your comments up. Yeah, not good. And Ryan Davis looks like he is hurt again. I don't know if he was hurt before because they brought in Cam Moore, but he is now hurt and got it taken off. 1st and goal. They're going to run the clock down. But yeah, I mean, this is a rough showing. I don't know what else you could say on this defense. Hopefully they can get a stop here or hold them to a field goal because, yeah, this is bad. They get snapped. Good stop on the good run defense right there. Played it perfectly. Bean handed it off to Daniel Hinshaw for a loss of, I think, 1 or 2. Josh Seliskar was on the play. Let's see. Let's hope for a stop. You're right, Rodrigo. Let's hope for a stop. Lan Lars, we might as well blitz every play. Yeah, but I think that's the problem. We have no answer. So if we blitz, then, we're just putting ourselves in a really bad spot when it comes to Kansas because they'll switch. But Kansas also is just playing within their means. They know ultimately, okay, if we just run the ball every time, most likely they're gonna do some. McDuffie in the backfield, Bean in the shotgun with McDuffie right behind him. And he keeps it. And what good defense. Good defense. Who got him? I think it was, oh, there you go. Malachi Lawrence. Again, he's been one of the bright spots on the defense today and for the season. Malachi Lawrence sacks Jason Bean about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it's 3rd and goal, I think, from Kansas's 12, I believe. Let's see where they're spotting the ball. All right, so because you had good defense, you put them behind the line multiple times. So that's 2 straight tackles for loss, which is what you want. And let's see what happens. Jason Bean, obviously, again, in the shotgun. 3rd and goal on 15. UCF's 15. They just hand the ball off, and it gets stopped right then and there. Best play by the defense today since probably the stop on the first drive by UCF right there. Potentially is holding Kansas to a field goal. But we'll see if they make the kick. They've had 1 block today, so that could become an issue. Let's hold not to go to 50. Can we hold them just, if we can hold not to non-50 in a couple minutes here, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But a 32-yard attempt for Kansas right here. I hope that my graphic I don't have to make. I've got it ready to go, but I don't want to make that graphic. I don't want to make it. Let's hope for a block. And it is no good. No good. Look at us. I don't have to make the graphic. I am a good jinx. I am a good jinx. Look at me. Look at me coming in clutch. They don't want me to make the graphic. They want me to just enjoy this beatdown that we're getting. Look at me. Hey, how about that one? How about that? I'm a good jinx. Put your comments down below. Seth Keller's 32-yard field goal try is no good. 6:07 left. I'll put that in the chat because I saw who said it? Somebody put, what's the time? Oh, yeah. Jay Sis. How much time is left? 6 minutes. I'll put it in the chat, though. Again, if anybody wants to join or come on for the last 6 minutes, we allow you to come on and listen. We can talk during the offensive drive. Whatever you want to do. I'd love to have you on. I'll put the link in here again, just in case. I appreciate anybody that's come on or tried to come on. I also understand if it is not working, but I do appreciate it regardless. What is the reality chance of Addison actually getting fired? That's a good question, actually. I'd say 35%. Now, I will say this. I say 35% if it continues this way. If this actually continues and it's this bad consistently, then yeah, 35%. Because at the end of the day, he is still a first-year defensive coordinator. He's got to clean it up. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to clean up this leaky run defense. Like, it's pretty bad. But if it gets really bad, I'd say 35%. 65% he stays. Because you got to give a guy a year or so, or a year under his belt. But no, this is awful. Addison fired. Don't think so unless this continues after Oklahoma, Cincy, and Houston. Yeah, you've got to prove that you can stop teams from running the football. Because if you really think about it, the only teams that UCF has stopped from running the football is Kent State and Villanova. That's it. That's it. Besides that, and even Kent State, remember, like, go back to, like, basically Kent State's, like, 3rd drive. They had a big run. They had, like, a 60-yard run. It got brought back for, I think, illegal block in the back or holding. We just didn't think the run was this bad. Like, this is just awful. All right, Timmy McClain. I am like staring into my, like, I have a light right now and I'm staring right into it. Timmy McClain takes the ball, fakes the handoff, steps up in the pocket. There's nothing for him, avoids it, runs for a good amount of yardage, and goes down at UCF's 44-yard line. Hurries up the football, 5:46 left. And Kansas player's down. So that's actually perfect time because Chris finally got on. So we're going to allow Chris to come on and talk for a little bit
What's
because
up?
how you doing, Chris?
Um, I was trying to get the camera off actually because I'm not exactly in a good lighting.
You're good. It should
Um,
be on like the bottom. There should be like camera and stuff like that. If not, yeah, there you
cool.
go.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I would set up lights and shit, but it's 6 minutes. I'm so sorry. Are we allowed to swear?
You're good. I don't think YouTube's gonna kill us. You're good. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Limit the
We're
cussing.
all.
Don't try to cuss, but if it
Yeah,
slips
yeah,
out,
yeah.
if it slips out, I respect it.
All right, cool. Sorry about that. All right.
You're good.
So first of all, I want to say awesome podcast. I watch it like whenever I'm not doing anything else. Really
Appreciate it, man.
appreciate you doing this, man. If we've got like viewers in here and you guys aren't liking, just go ahead and like. It's free. Doesn't take any time. Anyway, moving forward, I know it's a long shot. Scott Frost, he's coaching high school. I mean, we need. Oh my goodness, Timmy. Oh my goodness. Oh, he dropped it. All right. Scott Frost. I mean,
I think the only problem with that is I think Gus, there's definitely an ego thing with any coach, but especially
yeah,
when you have a guy that kind of brought UCF to prominence. I don't know if Gus necessarily. And listen, I've liked what Hinshaw has done. I do like the changes. Obviously, there's things that need to be cleaned up, but this is not on the offense. I mean, the offense struggled in the first half. Don't get me wrong, no question, it was awful. But that's also just the quarterback decision and trying to play JRP when he's not ready. Yeah, that should have been a catch. I mean, he should have come down with that. That was a good play by Timmy. But no, I think Hinshaw has no chance of being fired because Hinshaw's actually played, or Hinshaw's actually kind of coached good games. At the end of the day, UCF is the fourth offense in the nation. They won't be after today, but the problem is the defense. The defense needs to get figured out. I mean, I think Gus knows that, like at this point.
that's true.
But it
I
doesn't get
mean,
any easier. It doesn't get any easier.
man, and this is like, a little bit more pity party UCF kind of stuff for a second. Let me have it. We're down pretty bad. But I'm sorry, it's just the game's on. Anyway,
Oh, go
um,
ahead. No, yeah, just don't even focus on the game. Just talk and give your take, whatever you want to say.
it just sucks so bad to see our guys go and just completely obliterate the competition. I mean, we're building Miami's program with their center. We're building Fresno State with Mikey Keene. We've built Oklahoma with Levy and Gabriel. Like, come on, man. If you guys stayed here, I don't know.
Listen, everything happens for a reason. And yeah, Timmy drops back, goes bunch of yards out of bounds and tries to throw it away and almost, gets his head cut off and terrible play by Timmy right there. And Rodrigo says Timmy once again doesn't know how to get rid of the ball and loses 6 yards. What the hell is wrong with him? Every single game this happens. Yeah. He tries to do too much too much Timmy McClain play and not just solid quarterback play. You should just throw the ball out of bounds. But I get what you're saying. I completely get it. I get why it could be frustrating as Johnny Richardson runs for, probably about 8-9 there. At the end of the day, like we know the type of coach that Gus Malzahn is. We know what he wants to do. We know the type of quarterback that Gus Malzahn wants. And Dylan Gabriel, he wanted Jeff Lebby. Don't get it twisted. He wanted Jeff Lebby as the head coach here at UCF.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, again, I don't know if Jeff Lebby will be a good head coach. I don't blame Terry Mohajir at all for going to get a national championship winning a head coach that is going to stay, whereas Jeff Lebby could have, again, used this as a stepping stone, and you only get Dylan Gabriel for so long. So as Timmy gets sacked on 4th and 8, and it looks like the ball came out, but that's going to end UCF's drive right there. Kansas gets the ball back. Hopefully we can hold them to a field goal so that we don't have to let them score 50. But no, it hurts to see the quarterbacks that played for us do so well, like Mikey and Dylan. And I get it's hard for UCF fans to watch this. At the end of the day, JRP is not 100%. So
That's also true.
Like it's hard to watch these games and be like, I get Timmy is not it. I get it. I think Timmy can be a very decent quarterback. We have to see how John Rice Plumlee plays, but I also understand. I think the sooner that Gus could get out of his own way of just going to get the best quarterback available and not so much the best dual threat quarterback available, the sooner UCF will become what it's supposed to be. as another big run happens for Kansas. So
So
it's
that's
tough. I get it.
If I could just piggyback on that for 1 second, I don't know how
Yeah,
much time
100%.
you want us to have on here. But my question kind of is, what do you think about Malzahn's ability to coach a quarterback that's not Cam Newton?
I mean, I think we've all seen the quarterbacks that he has coached after and kind of what has happened since then. I mean, hasn't been, but I think that's been one of the knocks on Gus Malzahn is he hasn't really been a quarterback developer. He's brought
Right.
in quarterbacks to play his system, but he hasn't really developed them. I think ultimately, no offense to the quarterbacks that we've kind of brought in, but it's not like they are top 20 guys. They are, top 40. But you're trying to get guys that kind of fit your mold. I think those are valid. I think having Gus, those criticisms of Gus are valid. At the same time, that's why you bring in a guy like Darren Hinshaw, because you're hoping that you can kind of have a quarterback to develop, a former quarterback to develop your now quarterbacks. And I think that's partially why Gus brought Darren Hinshaw in, was to say, hey, we're going to develop these guys. Yeah, that was Kansas. No, Rodrigo, that was Kansas's, I think, second. But yeah, not good for Kansas to have an unsportsmanlike at the end of the game. It's really going to affect them long term in this game. But no, so you're 100% right. It's stressful. It sucks. Don't Falk it up said 2024 starting quarterback isn't on the roster. We can leave it there. I don't think it's about developing at this point. I think Gus knows damn well after seeing Timmy McClain, you're not having John Rice next year. It is 105% chance that they go after a top transfer quarterback and promise a starting role. And that's what you got to do.
Yeah, it's damage control at the least, right? Like you need somebody, not necessarily to pin this on, but to say, hey, we didn't have this quarterback last year. Why don't you guys come on in? Because like UCF, I mean, if we keep having this kind of season, we're in for a pretty tough time. We need something to kind of turn the tide and try to get some kind of momentum going.
I think you can do that after Oklahoma. I think ultimately that's the thing. It's going to be like a bit like the next couple weeks are going to be rough for fans and players and coaches, because you've at this point, like the looking ahead wise, okay, you're going to lose to Kansas State, or you lost to Kansas State, you lost to Baylor, lost to Kansas, lose to Oklahoma. That's 4 straight losses. And you'll be 0-4 in the Big 12. That's going to be a lot of losing. But you have a back half of the season where I think you have a lot of comparable teams. And now, granted, it's going to be, is John Rice healthy? Does the defense improve week to week? But it just seems like the defense has not improved, like, at all. Like, week to week, they just still are getting run all over. They're still making the same mistakes. They're still not in the positions they need to be. So that's really going to be how you define a season. Can UCF in the second half of a season win 3 games to get to a bowl game? You got to win 3. If you don't win 3, then I think it's you stop the bowl streak, because you've been to like 7-8 straight bowl games. That's where you're going to have to start being like, okay, like, I get it was your first season in the Big 12. It's the same thing while we're talking with UCF basketball, right? Like with Johnny Dawkins, everybody wants Johnny Dawkins fired. Yet, okay, if you fire Johnny Dawkins, you lose any type of recruiting pressure you have. You're going to be rebuilding for 3 to 4 years, if that. And what better coach are you going to bring in that's respected and can recruit as well? So same thing with Gus. It's like, I think Gus is the quarterback for us, or the coach for us. I think he's done enough things for us, but you can't have games like this. He'll blame it. He'll put the blame and say, like, he won't blame it today, but he'll say at the end of the day, he'll be like, well, we didn't have our starter for, 3 weeks, and, and we were just banged up. And he'll say that to make it sound better and just be like, we just, are injured or whatever. But at the same time, you have to wake up when the sun rises and say, maybe we're just not doing what we need to do. Maybe we just don't have the players we need. Maybe we're not coaching them the way we need to coach them. So this is a definite game where you look at yourself in the mirror and say, maybe we need to figure something out here.
I'd agree with that. I mean, Big 12 teams are smelling blood in the water. It's
this is all they got to do is run the football on us. I mean, if you just look at the stats, they've run on us 49 times for 391 yards, and they've thrown it 12 times. 49 times. Run the ball on UCF, and you're going to win. Chris, give any final thoughts before we end this game here? Kind of, I know it was a rough one today, but kind of your outlook for the rest of the year.
Outlook for the rest of the year. Get through Oklahoma without hurting anyone else. get to your bye, heal up, figure out what's going on with the run defense. That's all I want us to do. And yeah, I appreciate you having me on. Awesome show as always. Love the community. And yeah, go Knights.
Charge on. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, guys, we get to the final 2 minutes of this absolute crapshoot. 44-22, UCF Knights obviously are down by 3 touchdowns at this point. Let me look some of your comments. How did we convert that? The third. How did we let them convert 3rd and 15? Rodrigo, nothing surprises me anymore. Let me go up a little bit while we're looking at this because just want to read some of the. Just need a pure passing quarterback from a higher tier team. 100%. You need a pure passing quarterback. I don't care about the dual threat anymore. Get a guy that can throw the ball and can make plays outside of the pocket and not get too frazzled. As Kansas, down at the 1 yard line is McDuffie. Looked like he reached over the goal line. If Kansas was a nice team, they would just nail the ball. I think that might have been a touchdown, though. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that might be a touchdown, but we'll take it. This is actually crazy. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous that we can't stop the run at all. They have rushed for nearly 400 yards. That is never going to work. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I swear to God, I cannot believe that they are just running this much. As Jason Bean is taking again from the shotgun, and they're just going to run it up the gut. McDuffie they got their 50, boys. They got their 50. It'll be 51-22 here very shortly. Punch in the mouth. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'll give my final take here in a second once the game's actually done because we watched it through the entire time. But this is a travesty. This is terrible. I get all the people saying it's going to take time and all that, and I get that. At the end of the day, you're a Power 5 program. You are supposed to compete, and UCF did not compete today. 51-22. It is up on the screen right now. And again, I will take any more people that want to talk. If you want to talk, I will, we'll give a final audience link sent to the YouTube chat just to see if there's any more people that want to come on. But let's go through some of your comments. Don't fuck up. I'm not one to give Addison an out, but the linebackers can't stay in their lane. They're the right spot. They're in the right spot before the snap, but always get into the wrong lanes. Yep, that's been the problem. Linebacker play has been terrible. This has been an ongoing problem. You hit with Jason Johnson a year ago, but they have not hit on anybody else, and they're not in the right spots when the play actually matters. It's very clear if defensive line doesn't win off the ball, they will get 5 yards per carry. That's the problem. Defensive line clearly is not it right now. Look for them to like Ricky Barber not being in is a problem. And I think they're really going to need to make sure the defensive line gets bulked up. Rodrigo, no injuries at Oklahoma sounds hard because of how physical they are, but one can hope. Yeah, hopefully no injuries. They're going to need it to make a bowl game this season. That's for sure. Don't fuck up. Noah needs to reclassify for 2025 and get here already. Yeah, Noah Grubbs needs to get out of Lake Mary and come to UCF if he even wants to come at this point, because I know he wants to go to a lot of other Florida schools. That isn't to say Williams was good either, by the way. No, I get what you're saying. Linebackers just don't help when they misplay every play. No, they don't. That's probably one of the biggest problems. Defensive line can't get any push up front, and then when it hits the linebackers, they're just not in the position that they need to be when it matters. We don't have time, though. I don't know what you're referring to right there. Say what you're referring to with we don't have time, though. I'm talking so much that I don't even remember what I said. Meanwhile, we have local 96.9 in the game. Kravitz saying we should be happy for Dylan Gabriel while we were having horrible quarterbacks. I mean, I'm on 96.9 in the game every once in a while. Brian Kravitz has me on, and I'm appreciative of him. I can understand at the end of the day, you should feel a little sense of pride that Dylan Gabriel did play here. But there is, I am not in that same boat. I don't want at the end of the day, Dylan Gabriel did us dirty, and there's not a lot of respect there. But, I will never stop saying he's one of the best pure passers I've ever seen live, one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen live. So that's never going to get taken away. He handled the UCF situation poorly, but I think he would also tell you that. So again, we'll see, but he's going to light us up in a couple weeks, and we'll talk about it on Charge On. But almost done. 26 seconds left. 3rd and 2. And I'll stay on for like a couple minutes post the game just so you guys can put in your final thoughts before we end, and then I got to go record a podcast that will get posted tomorrow. Timmy drops back, hits a short pass to get a first down to, I can't even read these light mode. Completed a pass. Let me read the stats. Maybe they'll tell me. Mark Anthony Richards gets the care, or the Timmy drops back with 8 seconds left and gets sacked. And that is the ball game. That is the ball game right there. Final. Kansas comes in, beats the Knights 51-22. Absolutely no push by UCF in a national televised game. First one in the Big 12. They absolutely do nothing to, to prove why they're in this conference, to prove why on the national stage. Terrible all the way around. I'll stay on for a couple minutes, read some of these. Oh, wow. Look at Kansas creating a record on the back of UCF defense for the 2 running backs scoring over 130 yards each since TCU 1995. Yep. It's UCF is the record. You could place your school records this year on UCF's defense. These games are coach problems. They don't know how to motivate nor direction to UCF players. Yeah, no, it is coaching. It is coaching, but it's also players, but it is coaching. How do we feel about Gus and his staff at the moment? I'm okay with Gus. I'm not okay with the members on the staff. Addison Williams needs to look at himself in the mirror. That's ultimately what it is. I put the 3 guys, but truly believe it was only 2 until I get way more confirmation on third day. Yeah, don't worry about it. I think we're on the same page. I'm going to look at your tweets after. I have a lot of work to do, but I'll hit you up after the game at some point, either today or tomorrow. Steven Gonzalez, the coaching staff is really poor. Yeah, it's not looking good. They don't make any adjustments. Offense in the second half looked way better. So they adjusted in the second half. Defense still looks like the same defense. I don't know what Addison Williams tells your team at the half when they do just as much in the second half as they did in the first. Carlos, sad for JRP2. I think he has a lot of positives, though people like to trash him. Would have loved to see him get back and steer the team back right. He's going to get there. Give him 2 weeks. He'll play against Oklahoma, and hopefully he puts up a show because that's the best case we have. Thanks for the stream, Sean. I appreciate you tuning in, Carlos, and staying here the entire time. I really appreciate all you guys. Chris, every Big 12 team is breaking records on us. Facts. Literally, all of them. All of them are breaking the records on us. It's ridiculous. Yep, and I feel like that's it. Final thoughts. Guys, I truly appreciate it. I truly appreciate you coming and joining the stream. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot, and we will continue doing this. We got a lot of cool things. Like I said during the entire stream, please like and subscribe, preferably subscribe down below. Obviously, we put out content every week, all week. Like we're doing new stuff like this, and we're trying to get fans involved. That's ultimately what it is. We respect all the UCF content creators out there, but definitely want to get fans involved because ultimately that's what you guys give us all the motivation, continue doing what we're doing. So hopefully in the streams coming up, we'll have you guys on, and we will definitely do this for Oklahoma and potentially do a live stream next week. So follow me on Twitter at Sean MR Green to get any information on when we do live streams and any stuff like that. Kevin, thank you for coming on. Chris, have a good night to you. Hopefully you'll come on again at some point, and hopefully it'll be a better game. Kevin, better days ahead. Gus post-game press conference, it's like last week's. Lifeless, emotionless, and just seeming defeated. That is the problem, and it's probably hurting in the locker room. Yep, 100%. Carlos, yeah, seems like every team breaks a new record on us. And Caden Carter, thanks, Sean. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to go record a podcast that I definitely don't want to go record. We will see you guys tomorrow. Tune in at 8 a.m. New episode where you can hear everything you heard here with a little bit more in-depth on it. But thank you guys so much. As always, go Knights. Charge on. This has been Charge On, presented by Bet Online. We will see you.